Here in the city of Doors, Dame's troubles tend to go unheard. The factions keep their own law, and the average Joe, well, we're stuck carving out our own order. But Sigil isn't without help. When you've got a problem with no solution, a puzzle with no key, there's only one joint in town to turn to. They might not be the most professional outfit around, but they always solve the case. Because when you're desperate enough to turn to these idiots, you'll find your conundrum might just be open and shut.
Hello and welcome to our little mystery-solving D&D campaign, folks. My name is Austin, and as always, I'm joined by my sleuths scanning the sensates for a stray sibling. Say hello, everyone.
Hey, that was
a good one. I like that.
You know what? We're back in alliteration, baby. I tried to get away from it. It pulled me right back in. You can't escape the alliteration.
Your destiny.
You can't escape the alliteration like you can't seem to escape the podcast. Welcome to Campaign 2, Season 2, Episode 4. Before we find out what happens in this sure-to-be legendary episode, Sophia, you have some things to regale us with.
Yeah, I'm gonna, as soon as you say that, you know, the King of Casa Cristo sees the sun or whatever, I'm gonna slam my foot on the gas and careen out into the beginning of the race, and tell you that we continue to have a Patreon and a Discord where you can engage with the community and support the podcast, check out all sorts of cool bonus features on there, and with that, I will round the bend for the first lap and see where my results lie later. Austin, back to you.
Casa Cristo wasn't really
you could do all that in one breath. Why'd you say it like that?
I know Casa Cristo was a rally race in the movie, but this was not. All of my car knowledge comes from Speed Racer, and that's not really relevant to the real world.
You gotta watch more Fast and the Furious then.
I guess, but the Fast and the Furious feels also
But
wrong.
that's not about cars, it's about family.
Yeah.
It's about family,
It's about family,
You
Austin.
gotta really lock into the themes.
It's about both. Don't let them in a car. All right.
Oh, man.
All right, fantastic. Then with no further ado, let us begin this next episode of Rolling Difficulty. When last we left our heroes, a deal had been resolved, a bargain made good on with the difficult relationship sibling that is Ubtag Gorskoben, who had escaped the clutches of Shemeshka, who had rescued them to locate a certain particular important lost magic item that they were in the city looking for, knowing that they were either going to fail and suffer the consequences, or succeed and probably suffer the consequences. Ubtag escaped, enlisted your help as professional investigators to help find this magic item, that they might have a bargaining chip when they return to the plane of water where they had originally come from in search of their quarry. All of that concluded. You made it back to the open and shut investigations. Everyone, long rest is had, but my question now, usually this is where I tell you how much time has passed before your next job, and you tell me what you've done during it, but I actually have a question to ask first, which is, Nyx, you have worked with this crew for some time. You've seen what they're capable of. You've learned. You've, I believe, come to trust them some. And you have a lead on your missing sibling. So my question goes to you. How many days of downtime do they have before you decide that the investigation into your missing persons case needs to begin in earnest? And that could just be one day. You might bring it to them the next day if you feel that Nyx would be very urgent about this. Or there could be some sort of preparation time beforehand. But I'm curious, what do you think?
You know, I don't really think I don't think she waits long at all. I think especially after seeing the sibling banter, and also realizing that, like, banter, air quotes,
big air quotes,
it's sort of banter, and then also seeing that, like, the many is kind of like in danger right now, and like they're vulnerable, I guess. I think they realize that they do need their sibling a lot faster than they anticipated. Whether it just be to just like, hey, we need to protect our family. So I think if not the next day, then the next day immediately, she's gonna go back to them, and it's very dramatic. I think she like
Yeah,
kicks in the
let's see it.
door. Yeah, I think like the next day she comes in, and while normally you would not know if Nyx had arrived at all, instead of like creeping through some side window and into her little nook that she's created, the desk on top of the bookshelves, she comes in and bangs down the door with like kicks it open, and is
good
like,
morning.
okay, look, when I first came here, you guys said you were gonna help me, and then we got a lot of other stuff that we had to do, but I can't wait anymore, okay? And I got a really good lead, so I'm going to the Civic Center, the Civic Fest Hall today. If you guys want to come with me, you can, but if not, I get it. It's fine. I'm just going to go do it myself.
Oh, kiddo, of course we're going to come with you. Just let me get my coat first.
Yes, I suppose this is as good a day as any to do this. We don't have any clients or anything, so why not?
Strike while the iron is hot.
Exactly.
Also,
Let's
All
go!
All right. Are there any preparations you want to undertake before, or are you all going to go right to the quote, the presumed scene of the crime to begin your investigation?
could I call a shot here? I've got my little secret conspiracy board under the floorboards that Ingrid's been reviewing at night to kind of put together the case of the previous detective. Could I cast my mind back to it? And maybe make like a history or investigation check just to see if there was any links in there that I recall to the Civic Fest Hall, since we are investigating another missing persons case.
Since you are, yes, go ahead and roll an investigation to try and make connections.
That is a 28.
Woo! Why did the rest of us
Ooh,
even
hot
bother to
damn.
come into
Okay.
work?
What?
You rolled a 28 investigation?
Yes.
All right, and phrase one more time. You are trying to decipher if there is any connection between...
I'm trying to see if my missing persons is at all related to the missing persons of the Civic Fest Hall that Nyx is investigating, or like if there are any similar circumstances that stand out to me.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bank that 28 because I think that I think you don't have enough information on Laurel Lockwood yet. But we're going to carry that 28 forward, and should new information come available to you, I will consider that 28 the
Excellent.
connecting piece.
Very cool. I like this a lot.
Fantastic.
Clean.
An extremely
Generous.
dope roll. And with that, is everyone else ready to go?
I guess so.
Fantastic.
So, Nyx, I have to ask, as we're walking over to the Civic Fest Hall,
Right before you go,
we
I
have a
would
lot
like...
oh, yep.
Sophia, I hate to step on your toe here. Right before you go, I would like any one or two people can make an insight check really quick, but only one or two.
I have a pretty good
I've got a
insight.
tasty +4 in that, but
I was
wanna
going
go
to
for it?
4, but I already rolled, so I'd rather someone else do it.
Yeah,
I
go
have
for
a
it,
roll
Blake.
an
six.
insight.
okay.
Yeah, it's an insight.
Let's try
Oh,
my
oh, oh.
other shiny new D20 from what we got at PAX Unplugged.
Oof.
Take it away.
Okay.
I got a 19 plus 6.
Ooh.
Amazing.
Okay, 25. You notice everyone else is getting ready to go, and perhaps it's because you're newer here, and so Agni, the Dragonborn who is the security guard, who you don't often see, he's often around, but he tends to mostly be here at night when no one else is here, but he's also around pretty regularly. Perhaps it's that everyone else is used to Agni's presence, and that you still don't really know him at all, haven't talked to him, and so as a spy yourself or someone suspicious, but you notice him like looking out the window very intently.
Can I position myself so that maybe it looks like I'm just grabbing things around the room to go, but I want to be able to see what he's looking at?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That is not as good as my insight. And that is the worst thing I can roll. It's a nat 1.
Oof.
You go, and very easy to, clandestinely try to pick up some stuff that you need to take with you. But as you try to peer past his shoulder, to you, it seems like any ordinary street here in the lower ward. People are busy. That's a loud purring cat. People are busy getting ready for work. You see there's people out there sweeping the street, which is kind of a pointless endeavor because you can see the soot that is like settling through the air, falling onto the ground where they finish. But they could just, keep trying to sweep clean the sidewalk anyway, out in front of different businesses. To you, it seems like any other mundane.
I would like to telepathically connect with my party, and I'll roll the D8 to see how long it lasts.
Fantastic.
6 hours. We got 6 hours on this
Nice.
Zoom call.
That's a good long time.
So, I immediately reach out to Uptaglor, and I'm like, check your guard guy. He's weird. He's looking at something outside. I don't know what.
Agni, you're being weird. What's up?
I scream in my head.
Sorry,
Not out
boss.
loud! Not out loud! Not out loud!
the spy asked the boisterous bard character, "Can you
Bard.
get some information?" And the bard's like, "Oh yeah,
Literally,
I'll just ask."
Oh my gosh, don't look now, but what?
I was gonna say it's a real oh, can you go let this person know it's time for dinner? Okay, it's time for dinner. Well,
Yeah.
I could have done that.
Yeah, this is a signature move in my household.
I could have
too.
asked. Anyway, you say that to Agni. Agni kind of comes out of stupor, comes out of the trance that he was in, looks over to you. Sorry, boss. Just keeping an eye for suspicious individuals. You know how it is.
And have you found any?
I don't recognize that dwarf. You look across the street, there's a guy there's a dwarf sweeping the sidewalk, and he's like, just going at it. Just, no matter how much he sweeps, it just keeps getting dirty, and he just keeps sweeping it.
Oh, well, now I'm looking at this dwarf, too. Is there anything suspicious about it?
Make an insight check on the dwarf.
12.
Huh.
Dwarf seems a little put out by the task that is at hand, but is otherwise seems pretty on the up and up. You're like, I've seen a million people in the city that I've never seen before.
Can I also, now that we're talking about it, can I just look at the dwarf too and do an
go ahead.
insight on him?
Yeah, go ahead and do an insight check.
That is only a 9.
Yeah, I'd say that you get exactly what you got before. You know,
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
this is like a completely mundane. To you, this is you're extremely good at clandestine acts, but you're not like a what's the word I'm looking for? You're not like you don't like interrogate people, right? Like that's not
Yeah.
really your thing.
I'm
At
actually.
the risk of dragging this out too long, my
I'm
insight
sorry, wait,
check
oh.
was... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, wait, what's your insight check?
Well, my insight to notice that Agni was noticing something, I rolled a 2, so obviously that roll is scuffed. But, now that we're all in on this, could I also be like, hey, what's going on out the window? Just to give this D20 a second chance.
I'd love to do
So
kind
I-
of the opposite, and if I could, see everyone is talking nonsense around me, and I can't. What's going on? Look around the office and just Ingrid spends so much time here every day. Is anything amiss either with our staff or just the office itself? Is anything off from where it should be?
Ingrid, make a perception check, and Beleg, I will allow you an insight check.
Shucks, boss, that's real kind
After
of you.
2 rolls, though, I
Yeah.
will consider there to be potential penalties to this roll.
For sure. Okay, that's cocked, sorry.
I got a dirty 20.
The cocked one was better.
Dragging down the podcast, Red. come
11.
on. 11? 4 people now, heads looking out the window at this dwarf, and at this point, he turns, looks and sees all the people, and looks genuinely terrified, and goes into the building he was standing outside of.
We're a
Looked like we're
Scooby-Doo
waves
stack
before
with
you-
all the
We're
heads. just
alienating our
vertically.
neighbors.
Ingrid, you take a look around, nothing seems out of place with you said a 20, right?
Yeah, dirty 20.
Yeah, with a dirty 20, nothing seems out of place.
Right.
As
well,
for how
back to
weird
my-
you think they're behaving, I'm gonna leave that to Sophia, the player.
Yeah, Ingrid's like, I'm surrounded by idiots. What was in the coffee this morning? Are we done with whatever's going on here? It seems like
Keep up the good
everything
work,
is
Agni.
completely normal. Yes, thank you, Agni. You're a delight as always. Can we go? I believe we've got an appointment with the Civic Festival.
I think the weird thing was that dwarf trying to sweep up this street, am I right?
I think we should work on this case today.
I feel
There's
like we're
something
getting...
Alright.
really weird about that guy.
You guys are all getting very hung up on someone who we see once a week or so on street cleaning day. I don't know what's... This is normal. This is...
I don't
Street
recognize
cleaning
you,
day.
boss.
They clean this street ever?
They try. I don't know
They're
that
constantly
they succeed.
trying.
It's a good job, you know. Steady.
I don't know.
Do you think
Ingrid,
I should
we're
be
curr-
sweeping outside on the street?
I'm just saying, we're currently on the hunt for a shapeshifter. You know, anybody could be a clue.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
If I'm too late to get in on this, I totally understand. But I have my psi bolstered knack where I can add a d8, and I am proficient in insight. Can I roll a d8 to see if I can get up that 9, or is that resolved? I understand. If
I
it's
think the
resolved.
scene is over now.
That's
so
fine.
Go
That's
ahead
fine.
and hold on to your dice.
I
Gosh
go and
darn
I
it!
knock
I
on the
should
dwarf's
read
door.
my character sheet.
All right.
Yes, Agni will be gone for a while. If there's any mail, you know the drill. Lock up after us and keep an eye on the shop. And, I don't know, bring the dwarf a cup of coffee or something. I feel like we need to apologize for the 4 sets of eyes staring at him through the window. And Ingrid will start walking away towards
got
the
a
Civic
boss.
Festival.
You don't know how many sets of eyes I have.
Well, now I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about that.
Oh my god, we have other things to investigate. This
Well,
can't
this
be
is a-
another
this is
train
a-
situation. I will not do that again.
I don't
I'm
know
just-
what the train situation was, but
Oh, it was.
I'm
it
really
was
on this- on
wild.
board.
There was this giant snake.
No,
You see?
no.
Imagine a worm.
It's just.
uh-huh.
Ingrid's gonna
What's
walk
a
a
snake?
little
Picture a
faster.
worm.
You hear the heels go like click, clack, click, clack, click, 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 click.
All right, where are you going?
Civic Fest Hall, Civic Fest Hall.
Civic Fest Hall. Across the city, following the curve of the Taurus, you go the short route through the Hive Ward.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
Sure.
You head through
We're
the
local.
horrid part of the city where Beleg lives, called the Hive Ward.
Yeah.
Across the ditch, you travel.
We can stop
all
by
the
my place
way
if we want a
over
snack
to
on the way.
Clerk's Ward, where you know that the Civic Fest Hall is. And we've been here before in the show, but to remind for anyone who might have forgotten, Civic Fest Hall, a sprawling campus devoted to the arts of all kinds. Inside of it is kind of like walled, right? There's a campus to it, but it's always open. It's not like gated off. But inside of this wall campus, sprawling lawns, which there's not a whole lot of in Sigil, right? Open space is kind of a luxury most people can't afford. Sprawling lawns where it's people lounging around, writing and rehearsing. Reflecting pools that catch the light of catch the spire and are kind of their own work of art. The mosaic tiles inside and the beautiful reflection of the sourceless daylight that emanates from the sky. And of course, there are massive theaters here, and there's a main building in which those are held. There's also outdoor amphitheaters and things like that. But it is a sprawling campus with a lot going on. And so my question is, do you have any specific leads on where you're going to go?
This is not a lead necessarily, but on the walk over, if possible, I would have liked to ritually cast Comprehend Languages on myself. It lasts for 1 hour, so going into a more cosmopolitan area, I'd love to be able to understand what's happening.
Yeah. Casting Comprehend Languages, your newly acquired spell that we were all super impressed with you taking.
Yes, it's so cool. Isn't linguistics fun, people?
It's so useful and awesome.
We can
I
sign
have-
now.
I have a very basic question. What does Nyx look like right now?
Yes, this is a good question.
You know, it's
Great
funny.
question.
I was just thinking about that. As we leave, I do turn into Agni, and I'm the last one out the door. And I just look at Agni, and I just do like the "I'm watching you" gesture, and I close the door behind me. And I do look like Agni now. I think it
Okay.
was just like a petty thing at that point.
Now,
Hilarious.
Nyx, I do have to ask, because, we have something of a history of tumultuous sibling relationships popping up here. what is your sibling going to be happy to be found, or is this more of a family issue? Just because, they could, if they're hiding from us, that's one thing, or if they are hidden by means other than their own, that's something else entirely. You know what I mean?
What it sounds like you're asking me is, does my sibling want to see me? Probably not, no. But that's not up to them, okay? So...
Fair enough. Then probably good that you look like our dear friend Agni.
Yeah. I still don't trust that guy. And that gnome is really throwing me off today, but we'll just keep it pushing.
Can you remind us of the circumstances by which you were separated from your sibling? I forget if you've actually mentioned this before.
We had Utagler, we had a really nice heart-to-heart where I told you everything about
It's been
my sibling.
3 months. It's been 7 years.
10,000 years in Crystal Time Prison.
Utagler, it was last week. I don't know why. I have to repeat myself, but it's fine. I get
It's been
it.
a busy week.
We just had elevator music blasting in their brain the whole time you were talking. Just the beach
sorry.
music.
Yes, I did tell. To recap, Nyx and their sibling had a falling out when their other sibling, they are triplets, died on a job that Nyx and Nemo went on. So Nemo died, and Nil got very upset at Nyx for kind of pushing Nemo into these dangerous missions, but then Nyx is like, well, you weren't there to help, so... And then they had a big argument, and Nil essentially cut off all connection with the hive mind and with Nyx themselves.
Well,
That's right. I knew all along. You see.
Yeah.
This previous
I was just testing you.
this previous job was, by any chance, the contact for it someone that you met at the Civic Fest Hall, something to help point us in the direction of which of the various stages behoove us to investigate first?
Well, I mean, it was just like a standard job from the trade consortium. We didn't really always get a lot of information. We kind of just got, action items and things to just get done. It was always on a need-to-know basis. I don't usually know whatever client is hiring them. I just do the work.
Fair enough. Let's see.
Assuming that your sibling hasn't just been moping. It's a good city for moping, no judgment if that's what they've been doing with their
I
time.
mope all the time.
Of course, yeah, no, it's a great use of your downtime. But if that's not what they're doing, were they seeking employment? Do you think they might have acquired some sort of job around here ever since they left the little rat commune situation you had?
Yes, that's exactly, yes, the rat commune.
Cool. Didn't wanna assume.
No offense taken. That's you kind of nailed it. I guess Nil was just always really good at finding odd jobs and being very independent, and it was always their idea. And before I got my own job at the Trade Consortium, it was their ideas. They came up with all the. We would steal a lot, and they would kind of, stealing, finding, creating distractions to pickpocket, things like that. And they were kind of they were in charge, but they're just really good at taking care of themselves and only themselves.
Well, next.
So they could be here for anything. I don't know. Is there a part of me that hopes that maybe they're going to this place where you can experience memories again because they're feeling so guilty about what they did and they just can't stop reliving that moment, and they're just watching that over and over again, and they feel really bad. And then when I see them, they're gonna be like, "I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done any of that." And then everything's gonna be okay, and then we hug. Yeah, maybe, but probably not. So we'll see.
Oh dear.
You see a single tear, just
You're currently 3 times taller than
I'm
Blake, so he
huge.
just pats you on the hip.
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe. Hey,
Yeah,
you
well.
can hope.
Well, then it sounds like perhaps we'd best start in the emotional, those booths where you can go feel things.
The underground sensorium.
The sensoriums, yes. All right. So the four of you travel down below the theaters and the galleries to the basement of the fest hall, where the private rooms of the sensoriums can be found. You head down this staircase into the dimly lit, kind of almost muffled wood paneling everywhere, thick carpet. It's meant to be, there's a sensory deprivation aspect to this whole downstairs area. And as you enter into that area, you see the place where you rent out, where you sign up and pay to have your memories rented out. And I can't remember who spoke to him last time. It was definitely Ingrid, and I think Beleg.
I had Beleg with me because Lepan and Ubtaglor attempted to very subtly enter the room after we were already in it.
Mm-hmm.
You see Frillip the troll, who works behind the desk there. Currently, his back to you, filing things away.
Ah, Frillip, hello. Try and wave against attention.
Hey, Miss Starling, right?
The very same. Pleasure to see you here.
Scratches his, he's got a very tiny chin. It basically goes mouth to neck. There's not a lot of, chin situation going on, so it kind of scratches right under there, and then assumes a very casual stance, like he's chatting with an old friend, and says, what can I do for you? Looking to do a little bit of renting out this afternoon?
No. Once more, I am tragically here for work, not pleasure. I was wondering if you'd had any staff join recently, any newcomers to the Civic Fest Hall, perhaps, or if there were any patrons who had recently been spending an awful lot of time here.
Any new employees? Nope. Not that I know of. I'm sure plenty different places. There are always actors in, actors out with a lot of the plays. Same with the arts, all kinds of things like that. But if you're talking about down here, you're looking at the main man. People who are in and out, or people who are spending a lot of time here. It's a good question. Not really supposed to share that kind of thing with people who are just looking to rent. But, for you, we're good friends. What do you we're looking for someone who comes in every day. We're looking for someone looking for a specific kind of memory. What kind of information you trying to catch here?
Ingrid will kind of side-eye Nyx, just being this is, I have fewer details here. I'd love to, what do you want to share?
No, I'm going to feed you information through our telepathic link.
Very good.
Very cool.
I want to mention, basically there's a cover-up happening here. They're renting out rooms, and then people are going missing from the rooms. And this guy might be covering it up. If he's saying he's the only one down here, then he knows something.
Okay. I suppose it's, has anyone been in any of the rooms for such a long time that you didn't notice them come out, overnight stays and whatnot? I know that's not a usual move for folks here, but...
Plenty of people rent out for, hours if they got the jink for it, 12 hours at a time if they're so pleased. But we don't let people stay overnight. No, of course not.
Of course not. But does anyone do it anyway?
I think that would be bad practice for someone to sleep here. It does close at a certain time, Sigil never sleeps, but I gotta.
Don't we all? Could I insight check this guy? Make sure he's...
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
Can I help?
You also would... Well, if you'd also like to make a roll, Red.
Yeah,
sure, I'll also make a roll.
I'm gonna insight this guy.
On God, one of these D20s is gonna roll above a 10.
It'd be good if other people did, because I rolled a 6 total.
Alright, I'll do it too.
18.
15.
12.
I said roll above a 10, and it rolled an 11. Which means it's still winning so far today.
It listened.
It did, yeah. Thank you, little die. Appreciate it.
So I'm sorry. Sometimes I get distracted reading my own notes. So it was 6 from Sophia. There was an 18 from
18, Nyx.
From Olivia and Noir and Red.
15.
12.
15 and 12.
Nice little 3 intervals.
I actually. 6, but I don't even get to talk to you.
Okay.
You're off the pod. Get out.
You can just go ahead and stop recording.
Yeah, if you
Have
could
fun
just
editing it on
Sophia,
your
Get
own.
out.
I'm out.
yeah. If you could just mail in your dice, we're gonna find someone else for those. So
We lose our chief
Mailing
investigator.
your dice.
we want your badge on our desk.
I was gonna say I leave
first thing.
my gun and my badge on your desk, and then there's also like a D20 next to it.
You're a loose cannon. Get off the floor.
On a 15, there is definitely a sense from Beleg that there is a somewhat of a practiced line here, but you're not really getting much more. On an 18, you sense that the overnight thing is not like overnight. He's like, oh yeah, people don't sleep here overnight, and he's just being honest about that.
They
But
get taken
that-
somewhere else.
They go missing before.
But
Yeah.
that the notion of like people staying here a long time, you also get the sense of like a practiced line. He's not really giving much other than it sounds rehearsed.
I telepathically say to Ingrid, basically, I think this guy isn't going to give us anything, and I think we should just get into one of the rooms and look around ourselves, because they're going into the rooms and they're not coming out.
Well, since I'm here, any chance that my compatriots and I could rent a room for about an hour or so? We're just, middle of the day. Could take my break now, I suppose.
Sure, happy to. The rooms are, included with the stone. Did you all want to share one emotion?
Yeah.
People do. It's usually the specific kind if it's like 5 people all going into the one room together.
I think
Oh,
But
not to me, sir.
I don't want to be presumptuous.
I think
I'm
there's
the
a
designated
couple...
walker, sir. I'm just here to make sure we all know how to find our way home afterwards.
There's a couple of my old performances on file. I believe there's oh my gosh, what was it? The Gith of Penzance or something. That they're in there. It's a lot of roles in it, so I suppose we could all possibly get the feeling of being in such a show.
Such a big memory usually gets pretty costly, but for an hour for one of your memories that you deposited, so that we keep things, good between us, since I couldn't be more help, let's just call it 5 gold.
Oh, you are a dear. And I'll hand over 5 gold.
Cool. He gives you the memory stones, the sensory stones that you were looking for, and he also gives you like a key to one of the rooms.
Thank you, darling.
And lets you know which one to go into.
Don't work too hard now. I've got us a room.
Where does he take the keys from?
Where does he get the keys from? There's like an almost hotel room board kind of situation next to behind the desk there, where he takes off. He's like, 4C is free. And hands you the key.
Immediately over... I'm just going to call it our walkie-talkie. Over walkie-talkie.
Okay, yeah.
Go to Ingrid, I say, distract him, ask him how to work the room, anything, get him away from this board. I'm gonna
I
pretend
seem
to
to
go
recall
outside.
that I left you a particularly interesting theatrical memory of me. How has the playwriting and the acting been going for you? I mean, I would love to know where you're at. I know you've got some projects cooking. Mm-hmm.
You're trying to distract him that
Yes.
Nyx can...
I'm trying to get him to
Go ahead and
I'm
make me
gonna
a
try to
performance... Go ahead and make me a performance check to be distracting.
Of course. Oh, thank God. That's a 24.
Woo!
Okay, yeah. He immediately is totally drawn in and begins to talk to you and almost goes into like Mind Palace kind of state, reminiscing about the big stage, the feeling of being on the big stage in front of so many people, and not just being in front of people, but killing it and having their adoration as you have. And yeah, Nyx, what are you looking to do?
I want to try to sneak around and look for like a master key.
Ooh, great question. Okay, he's distracted, which is what's going to allow this, because there's usually doing some sort of roll like this would require like breaking line of sight or something, but you're going to attempt it basically. You're basically doing like a magic trick, right? You're doing a full sleight of hand, like right in front of this guy. Yeah. So I'm going to say, roll me. I don't want to lock it behind too many things, because you're looking. Go ahead and roll me a perception check first.
Okay. Is this
or investigation, whichever you would like, actually.
Well, I would. Yes, I would. I'd love to do that.
Okay, fantastic.
Before we move to investigation, though, would I be able to use my sense of smell if I did perception? Could I sniff out the right key?
I don't. I appreciate the hustle.
Hey.
That you're using with your vermin crown, which you collected.
Yeah, I would get advantage
from Tattershade, but I appreciate the hustle. I don't think I don't think that smell is going to help you with this key.
Listen, you're right, but you know, if I don't ask, the answer is definitely no. I'm going to investigate.
That's the spirit.
All right, go ahead and roll your investigation. Remember, though, you do have your side bolstered knack, or whatever it's called.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of that, because that sucked. So I am going to roll. Right now we're at a 12. I'm going to roll a d8.
Okay.
That is a 5, so 17.
Woo!
17 is enough. Yeah. So on DC 15, you look around and you notice. First off, I think you notice that you notice which keys are off the board, right? Like, you're like, oh, those are the rooms in use.
They're
currently being used. And then you notice that there is no master key, but there does seem to be a key on a ring around his belt.
Okay. All right.
You want to go for the sleight of hand?
Of course I want to go for it. Of course I want to go for it.
Very nice.
All right. I would normally call this we'll call this just a straight roll.
Okay.
And he's got a passive perception of 13. So go ahead and make me a sleight of hand DC 13.
No problem. I just got to get a 7. Seven or more.
Don't jinx it.
No, I'm going to get it right now. Boom. Oh my fucking god! No, I'm gonna use a side. Bolstered.
Well.
No, it's funny. I got a 6.
Okay.
So I hit a 12.
Okay.
I hit a 12. But I am going to use my bolstered. So as long as I get a 1, and that's a 5. So it's another 17.
Okay, fantastic. So, using your psionic powers to boost you up, what would have been 2 failures, but you drawing into your psionic pool of power? What does that look like to someone who would be closely observing you?
I think I still look like Agni, but in the eyes, you see the eyes kind of like shudder, and as Nyx blinks, they kind of turn back to her regular eyes, and they, much like a cat, or like a cat, like her eyes widen almost as big and as her pupils dilate, and then they fluctuate between, like, you see her, I guess the camera zooming in, but it's her eyes. You see her eyes like shifting throughout the room, and it like her appearance doesn't change, but there is something in the eyes that looks just a little more, trying to, not smokier, but like a little more glimmery, and like there's some kind of energy that's coming right from her eyes.
Very cool. You catch a glimpse of the key ring, and then you're a pretty professional thief. You look past Frilip's shoulder as he's talking and stare intently for a minute, which is enough for him to, like, distracted by talking to Ingrid, kind of like peek over to see if you're looking at something. And as he does, you the rest of you see smoothly in one motion, like it's been done 1,000 times, reaches over, grabs the key hook with the belt, pulls off, and pockets it before Philip turns back around. It is easily one of the like slickest moves you've seen pulled off in what should be like broad daylight in your lives. All right, you have your keys.
Are you ready to go to your room?
Yes, of course.
Are we done reminiscing?
I mean,
enjoy.
Focusing on the past. Not focusing on the past. Instead, let's focus on the past.
of course.
Enjoy. All right. You head to your room or elsewhere?
I think I'd go to the room first.
Yeah, we should at least head back that way, because it's like through like a hallway, if I remember correctly. There's like kind of...
Yeah, there's a whole
like
bunch of hallways here, so you get out of Philip's sight like immediately.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You go to the room, open the door. It is identical to the one that you met with Mary Ellen. Circular. There's like it's like what do they call those? The indented couches in the floor. The like social
the conversation pits.
Conversation pits. Thank you. There's like a circular conversation pit. It's the carpeted floor, and then it steps down onto cushioned seats. It steps down again onto the like bottom floor, and there's a big round table in the middle for people to like put their feet up on or have drinks. There's like a little carafe of wine in here. Nothing crazy. Carafe would be the right word. There's like a little crystal of wine here that it's nothing crazy. Just like a little like have a glass while you're enjoying the sensations if you so choose, kind of situation.
I think Nyx immediately just starts just scouring the room and just investigating for any other exits other than the main door, any secret latches, any like just starts pulling, if there's a bookcase, like starts pulling books as if they were like
The walls are well velveted. They're supposed to be like, again, that sensory deprivation, like they're curtains basically all around the walls, but if you peel them back there's just wood paneling behind them. But go ahead, I'll allow, obviously, two people, as we usually do, either two people can make investigation checks, or one person can make a check and someone else can help them. And if there are any other checks that people would like to make, please let me know.
I'd also like to make the investigation check for anything about this room that is not as it appears, whether that's secret doors or things that might change after the person in the room was, like, into the emotion of it all.
I have an idea, but I think I'm going to save it until we start investigating some of those rooms that are theoretically currently in use.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, go ahead, roll your check, Sophia. And sorry, Olivia, did you have something?
Yes, no, I did get the investigation roll. I did 17 plus 6.
23 investigation, okay. And Ingrid, what'd you get?
17 total.
17
total. I was like, we both rolled 17.
I know, it's so excited.
Oh my god, triplets.
Oh my god, twins. Triplets.
Okay, so you begin looking around the room. Other than what I discussed just now, the only other real feature of the room is there are 3 lamps that hang around the sides of the room. So there's like, it's dimly lit, right? And so there's like little lanterns that hang around and there's 3 of them that illuminate the whole space. On a 17, Ingrid, you start going around, and you're looking for, like... I'm sorry, Ingrid, you specified you were looking for, like, things that were out of place, or...
Things that were made to change in some way, like scuff marks on the floor where a bookcase swings out, or, like, something that could, like, flip around,
Gotcha.
That sort of deal. Like, specifically looking for changes to the room that could occur.
Big trapdoor in the bottom of the
especially
conversation pit.
Move the rug, oh my
you're especially
god.
looking for, like, secret passages, it sounds like, right?
Sure.
Yes.
You are looking for secret passages. You begin going around the room and you check underneath the table. Table doesn't flip or anything. None of these seats fold out. The floor you're stomping around, there's no loose carpeting that would suggest like where it gets peeled up. There's no like specific wear and tear on the carpeting. Some of the seats, like the seat closest to the door and furthest from the door, it seems like are the most sat in, just by like the general kind of wear of it, but there's not anything suspicious about that. you go through and you're checking to see if any of the walls have false panels. And as you're going, it's pretty standard to like knock and look for hollow, and you do find that across from the door, like the back of the room essentially, you're like, oh, that's hollow back there. It's a circular room. You're like, oh, that's hollow back there. But for the life of you, you cannot find a secret passage. Like there's not like there's no false panel here. You're like, there's nothing on the other side of this wall, and also there's nothing here opens. And then for Nyx on a 23, you see that Ingrid is like stuck at this spot. You've been like doing the same investigations, the same rounds. Nyx is kind of stuck at this spot, and you come over to try to investigate yourself. You see that it's basically directly below the light that's across the room here, the third light. And you check, you're like, nope, this light doesn't pull. Ingrid already tried that. There's nothing here that like opens a door, but you do notice that this light is actually a little different than the other two you investigated. There appears to be some sort of like cutoff that goes through to the other side. So in other words, these things are fed by oil, and you can turn them up or turn them down to turn the oil off. There appears to be another one, like the dial that turns the lights up and down if you want to make the room brighter or dimmer, goes through this wall into this, whatever that hollow space is behind this room.
About to do a revolving door Indiana Jones trick real quick.
It's like you can turn off the light from whatever's on the other side of this wall. Beleg, was there something you wanted to follow up with?
No, my only idea was to try and use Divine Sense if people were getting, like, snatched by demons or something, but if it's just a trapdoor, there's very little I can do except break it, possibly.
Well, he might do that.
Are there any 1-inch holes in the wall near where the hollow wall is?
There is not a 1-inch hole, but the lamp does connect through this wall. So someone just suggested breaking through the wall, which I would say is obviously doable. It's wood paneling, but you would need to destroy the wall, and the sound dampening is not meant for that, right? If you wanted to get through you suspect that probably if this lamp does connect to the other side, the hole that goes through has got to be about that big.
So we could just, like, pop out the switch, and Ooptaglor could squeeze themselves through?
Yeah.
All right.
Do it.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Good luck,
don't
buddy.
say that.
First
That's
off,
not...
are you guys gonna wrench this off the wall, or would you like to use thieves' tools or something to like try to like unscrew
If
it?
I could
Basically,
suggest a
there's
lighter
not
touch.
screws.
We can call the sword Plan B.
Plan B it is.
You feel your sword is like, property destruction is wrong.
I'm right there with you, sword,
You
but
feel-
the needs of
you
the
feel-
many.
You feel dread at the thought of having to break a lamp that doesn't belong to you.
I'm right there with you, sword. The sword could, like, feel me pointedly looking away from the cleanest pickpocketing I've ever seen before.
Yeah, Ingrid will take a bobby pin out and like look around and be like, I'll do it if no one else wants to.
Yeah,
Please.
go ahead and roll a thieves' tools check.
Now remind me, I'm proficient in it, so it's proficiency bonus plus
Plus your dexterity.
dex. Awesome. Okay.
You're no longer an artificer. You don't get to use your intelligence for this.
13.
13. You go. You remove the first part, and then you successfully remove the oil so it doesn't spill everywhere. And then, as you are trying to get the thieves' tool in through the wall to get this very specific dial to come out, tink! Brass just snaps and comes off in your hand, and you hear on the other side some piece go plink, tink, 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 and fall down as you've broken it off. And there's a hole in the wall, about an inch wide.
It's just stuck
After
too
you.
tight, you know. It's like when jars are really solid. Some people, it's impossible. I loosened it.
You definitely
I will-
loosened it.
I will take off my armor and I will squiggle on through.
You guys watch as Ooptaglor just goes, and all the armor falls to the ground, and then like a big
I would like to catch it to
gelatinous
make
snake,
the noise less.
which is It's okay. You're good. You're good. Now Uptagler's concertina does go as it slinkies down the couch into the conversation pit.
Wait, I have a concertina? Wait,
no, it's just a joke. I'm riffing.
Don't give Nora hope.
Okay.
I'm just imagining Philip like listening to this fucking Looney Tunes soundboard playing out in the room that he thinks we're having.
It's like there's a one-man band in there. Tambourines hit the ground. A pair of cymbals and rolls along the floor.
Oh my god.
Slapstick comedy routine noise.
Anyway, none of that happens because Uptagler was not a one-man band. In fact, not even a man. Uptagler, you squish together and travel through the wall. It is, other than one single beam of light that enters through the hole you just traveled through, it is pitch black in here. Do you have dark vision?
I do have dark vision.
Yeah!
Okay.
We are good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if Plasmoids had it. So you can see that you are on the other side of the walls and that they you're in a hallway that is clearly between a bunch of the sensoriums. You can see the curved piece of the wall. There is, like, where the two there's a bunch of negative space because they're all circular rooms that fit together weird, but there's about 10 feet of space back here. And it kind of widens and gets closer depending on, like, what part of the circles you're in. It almost, like, snakes back and forth as they, like, fit together. Not quite like puzzle pieces. I hope my description makes sense. You can see there's like no light coming through, but you can see that you're in wooden walls behind. There's scaffolding and stuff back here. There's like the framework for building everything. In fact, it's all very square back here with the way that the lumber is used to form, and then the curved panels kind of go through and around it. So it's a weird backstage sort of vibe, which I guess makes sense underneath what is the biggest theater in all of the Planescape. But other than that, there's nothing immediately in front of you other than there's a bunch more hallway that leads off. It stops behind you after like 30 feet because that's where the hallway ends in the other direction, and then it continues around and you can see it opens and goes like left and right. Presumably these go behind all of the sensoriums.
So first I'm looking for a way to open, like, for a different kind of passage into here. Like,
sure, yeah, make an investigation. Like right here, you want to know if there's a way into that room you just came out of?
Yeah.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
14.
You look around, there is no way in.
Can I look
There's no,
back?
like, secret lever or hinges. The boards don't seem to come loose.
Are they rat-sized?
Can I look back and try and discern what the knob in the lamp was supposed to sort of do on this side?
I'll tell you because I think that Nyx basically had it figured out. So looking at it, it just makes sense to you. It was a duplicate. On the outside, there's a knob you turn up the oil, turn down the oil so that it goes brighter or dimmer. It's the same knob, but you don't normally put it through the wall into the other side. Like, there is a way for someone on this side to turn off that light.
I see. Interesting.
Can I, since there's only this, how big is this? You said it's 1 inch?
Yeah, it's about 1 inch.
Like the size of a quarter?
A little bigger than a quarter.
Oh,
You wanna know if
bigger
your
than a
rat can fit?
quarter. Bigger than a quarter, you say? That's so interesting. Well, I'm gonna take Manny out, my little cerebral rat, and then I'm going to put him on the ground, and I'm gonna say, Manny, check this out. And then I, for the first time, I'm gonna use my vermin crown to polymorph
Hell yeah.
into a rat myself.
Okay, you turn into a rat, and you... Alright, you turn into a rat, and you scurry up through the hole. You maintain your intelligence, charisma, and wisdom,
Yes.
as per the stats of the item. So this is kind of like a druid wild shape. It's not polymorph, so you don't become a dumb rat. You have all of the things that make you Nyx, but you are now rat-sized, and with a... who's given a boost? Is it going to be...
I go up and I just do uppies.
Beleg stands on tiptoes to boost you
Tippy
up
toes.
to this incredibly high up lamp,
get him,
and
get him.
you squeeze through.
But, like, do you have a way to turn into a rat or really, really small? Because I don't.
I can't get any smaller than I am, ma'am.
Well, then we wait. Have fun
Oh,
storming the
Tagmore, a
castle.
rat comes through the hole.
A rat with a
A crown on.
No, I'm kidding. Ooptagler
come
is a
in-
friend to the rats.
I run up and we are still telepathically connected, and I go,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if telepathically, because this is kind of just funny, but I don't know if telepathically my voice would be higher, but you hear.
Well, your
Nyx
brain is
go,
smaller, so obviously.
yeah.
Oh, what a neat little trick.
I can be a rat now.
You're past the hole now. You can de-rat if you wish.
I kind of like it, but
Okay.
Also, you'll be stuck on
switch
this
back.
side because you can only use the rat polymorph once a day.
True.
yeah. So I kind of like it.
So,
All right, well, then if you'll allow me, and I'll to make things faster, and I'll just pick up Nyx, and then we'll continue down the hallway. I'll shout through.
sure, yeah.
I'll shout through the hole. We'll be right back.
I tell Manny
All right,
to
so
stay
a
with,
naked Utaglor and a rat Nyx.
and
Yeah.
Ratnix, and I tell Manny to stay with Beleg and Ingrid.
All right, Manny's gonna stay there. You guys do have telepathic communication up, so
They know we
all
already
good.
have a rat,
All right.
right? I'll say as I'm like scratching Meech. Like, we're good.
Well, now they have friends.
I
Nyx
suppose.
can communicate with Meech now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can communicate.
Austin, what does
with
Meech
the
sound
both of
like?
them now. Yeah.
He's like the bat in Anastasia.
That is from Enchanted, and I think I've done that impression about 17 times in the last 2 days, so it's been on my mind.
Excellent.
Something
anyway,
about
that's what
that
Meech
is
sounds
triggering
like.
my fight or flight. I don't know what it is.
Red looked really upset when I did such a high-pitched voice.
All right.
Fantastic.
We'll continue
Okay.
through the hallway.
Yeah.
You continue through the hallway. Now, I don't think rats have dark vision.
I do with the crown.
Oh, you're right, and you know what? You're attuned to it. I'm going to say that maintains. So, dark vision, all good. You can see there's no penalty to your investigation or perception checks because of the darkness here. You move through, and you see that each room is exactly as the one you left behind, with the exception that it still has its, like, dimmer thing intact.
Oh, before
walk
we
past-
leave, can I
yeah.
have left the key that I pickpocketed with Ingrid? Because now we're kind of backstage. I feel like I may
Yeah,
not need it, but I'll
I
leave
think
the key
that's
with them.
reasonable.
Thank you,
I
dear.
also don't have rat pockets, so
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it would just turn into it would go on your rat person.
my rat person.
Interesting. I'm choosing not to think of the ramifications of that and instead just put the key in my pocket.
All right. You continue walking down this hallway. Like I said, 30 feet back in the other direction, it stops. If you so choose, you can walk down there, but there's not much obvious. The other direction has much more interest, and you continue. As you get to the end of it, you see that it splits left, right, and it goes down. And there's basically like 8 sets of these hallways, right? You're like in the second or third one. You're in like the third one, and you can see there's a couple back the way you came, closer towards Frillup, and then there's a bunch towards the other direction, and there's just hallway back here.
Split up.
No, well, should we split up? I don't think that's smart.
I was
Well-
just thinking you would cover more ground.
You know that you're totally right. Let me try something. This is also kind of new for me too, man. Okay. I would like to try to use my sense of smell to like see if I smell any trails that are going through these back areas and
That's
try
a
to track
great-
anything recent.
Question. I'm gonna look something up quick, and I'd love for you to roll me a perception check at advantage.
Ooh. Okay, 17 plus 3. That's a dirty 20.
Woohoo!
It's a dirty little 20.
Okay, so on a sense of smell check, I'm gonna say that what stands out to you is that you don't smell any people having been back here in a little while. And yet there are no, like, there are cobwebs and stuff like that, but how do I express correctly that there's a sense of ease? I mean, all of these things are back here, and, like, I guess I should say, like, the knobs don't have cobwebs across them or other. There's cobwebs stuffed into many corners, but what is definitely clean is the knobs that you noticed before, and you don't smell any people having been back here. Like, if someone had been walking it, like, if Frillup had been back around here, you'd smell Troll right now.
Yeah.
And you don't.
Yeah. That's weird. Okay, I guess we are gonna have to split up because I can't track anything. There's nothing that is standing out specifically, so I'll call you on the mine thing.
You go left, I'll go right.
The thinky-talky.
Okay. The thinky-talky. There it is. That's what it is.
I've been working on that all episode.
Find that. No, that's exactly... No, thank you. You found the joke. That's exactly what I was trying to do. You put the pieces together. Thinky-talky.
Thinky-talky.
I'm gonna... yeah, I'll go left. You go right.
All right. You split up. I would like each of you to just roll me 1d20.
Cool.
Wait,
Love
all
those.
of us?
20. Nope, just the two of them.
Ooh,
Okay.
come on,
no.
20s.
I'm sorry, Red, were you interested in playing tonight? My mistake.
Oh, no, I'm good.
I
Call
brought
me when we have to do combat.
Ingrid will turn to Blake like, I have a pack of cards. You want to play, like, war or something?
Oh, yeah, you're gonna need to teach me the rules, but sure.
It's very easy, and then I'm going to try and fleece them, but that's happening while you guys are off on your mini adventure.
All right. Noir, what did you roll on your d20?
Lucky number 13, baby.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right, and Olivia?
Lucky number 1.
Whoa.
Okay. So these... these were... Okay. These were luck checks. The intention was that the direction that... whoever rolled higher would go in the direction to find the clue. With a natural 1, I feel like maybe the luck goes the other way.
I don't know. It could just be like I didn't find the clue. I just feel like that could
Yeah, it
just
could be like you
it.
didn't.
Like,
Yeah,
that
maybe this is
really
fine, actually.
sucks.
Maybe this natural
I'm
one is
actually
fine.
so mad I didn't get to find the clue. Man, that sucks. Oh.
Shucks, man.
Austin, how did you do this to me? Oh, I really want to find that clue. That one, I guess. Yeah.
On a nat 1, you... On a nat 1, you go down this hallway and you're heading down through the passage. You split up from Ubtaglor, and you swear with your little rat ears you hear something coming through one of the walls. There are occasionally sounds of people, laughter and crying and something like that, but it sounds a little bit more like thumping that you hear coming from the other side of one of these walls. And you only hear it 2 or 3 times as you're getting close, but you park up close and you kind of press your ear against the wall, trying to hear what that might have been. And what you don't see is that phasing through the wall over you is a enormous shadowy figure, big bat-like wings, no bottom torso, just kind of ends in like a kind of billowing black smoke, arms that go far longer than they should, kind of a jutting up lower jaw, and horns. The creature is entirely black smoke, and would be familiar to you if you saw it, because it is the same kind of thing that Tattershade was.
We've had one, yes.
But what about
second thing
Shadow
immune to
Demon?
psychic damage?
Shit.
And as you're listening, trying to figure out what's going on, the thing incorporeally moves through the wall and then bends down over you, and you feel not hot breath, but ice cold breath on the back of your fur, as this thing says to you, "What do we find here? A rat in a little cage." You look up and see the Shadow Fiend menacing over you, Nyx.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Tell on my thinky talkie.
It's canon.
I go shit, come back. I found it's another bad thing over here, a really, really bad thing, and I need backup. And then I try to run.
Okay. If you're going to run away, we're going to enter initiative, and I'm going to write it down because I actually don't have these back hallways. It fully did not occur to me you would have any way of getting into these back hallways. So we're going to keep this theater of the mind to start with.
Shapeshifter walk into an unplanned
we're going to play fast and loose with this first round of combat. In other words, I'm not going to run a full chase like, oh, you have to traverse 120 feet. This first round is going to involve Olivia and the Shadow Demon. The second round, we will add Noir to the mix, and then the third round, we will add Belag and Ingrid to signify the distance that must be covered and the reaction time for each of you to the events happening. So
we're gonna need to pay for breaking the wall.
I'm going to cool. And then I would love for you to please roll me initiative, Olivia.
Okay, all right, let's go. I literally took alert for this. That is a 16.
Ooh.
Okay. Olivia coming in at 16, and this unknown Shadow Fiend coming in at a plus dexterity, a 15.
Oh. I run!
Alright, so 15 for... You don't know his name. Alright, go ahead, run away. You're gonna run away. He is going to take an attack of opportunity on you.
Yep.
Here we go! Keep in mind that you're looking at your rat statistics. Do you have your rat's armor class?
Oh,
good.
Oh, no. Hold on, I don't.
You gotta get your rat stats.
Rat stats.
Rat stats. Hold on, I'll bring up rat for you. So let's see, what's the armor class, and more importantly, how many hit points does a rat have?
I don't want to think about that.
Look, if you go to 0, you just turn back to you, so...
You do.
Yeah.
But then you're stuck on the side of the wall.
Not until we break through.
We're gonna break through the wall.
Sure.
My speed is 20 feet.
Rats have a speed of 20, an AC of 10, and 1 hit point.
Wow.
So with an attack of 12, the agonizing touch is going to hit you.
Uh-oh.
And you're going to take a wee bit of damage.
The rats are fighting.
Can I use my features?
As a polymorphed creature, I do not believe you have access to any of your class features. You are, for all intents and purposes, a rat.
Disengage.
Yep, I'm a rat.
Correct.
Yeah, I was going to see if I could disengage, but yeah.
But dashing was the right thing to do, because otherwise, you have speed of 20. Get you real easy. Cool, so that's 13 plus... No plus to that. Just 13 points of psychic damage. Reduced to 12 for your person, because you immediately come out of rat form. Now, the good news is that he did not expect that. And so he sees a weird rat going on, and he goes to catch it. And as his menacing claws pass through you, you poof, turn back into Nyx. And he lets out a weird shriek and kind of jumps back a little bit.
I think when maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I think there's like an intimidation check that I can do when I go back into my changeling form.
Is there? Well, the good news is also that now that you're a change, use 5 feet of your rat speed, and then you have the rest of your rogue speed and actions and bonus actions.
Excellent. Okay, good. That actually does help. I guess maybe I read that wrong. You're fey. You can look like that. You can't double using. No, I thought there was something. So I'm going to disengage and use my action and my movement to run.
Okay. Yep. You can go really, really far because...
I don't have to disengage because he hit me, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, just triple... I'm just going. I'm just dash.
you run away. He is going to pursue, but he does not have a bonus action dash. He does have a very fast fly speed, though, so he's going to catch up to you. But now we're going to narratively include Oobtagler. So, Oobtagler, go ahead, roll initiative.
Yes, sir.
Get in there, boss.
7.
Oopsie.
7, okay. The shadow demon catches up to you again, Nyx, and you see it is bearing down upon you. You're heading down the hallway at this last stretch. We're going to, after this round, we'll include both Belag and Ingrid, so assume that the next round you could reach the back of the room that you came from, but for now you are once again, you moved 90 feet, I believe?
Yes.
All right, so he used his action and his he used his movement and his action to dash, which was enough to get him back into melee with you. So you're standing melee against him now. What would you like to do?
Back the fuck up, dude.
Okay.
Get off my shit. I want to. Oh gosh, I think I have called for help. I am going to trust help is on the way. And I'm going to square up and turn around, and I want to try to, hit him with my... Oh, but he's psychic. Am I crazy? The psychic didn't work on the other guy, did it?
Nope.
Didn't last time.
It's like he did this on purpose, Austin. I feel like
you know what's crazy is I've had this set up for so long, actually, and when you clowned on the last one, I thought it's going to be so interesting when they find the second one.
I should have known something was wrong when you didn't wreak vengeance in episode 3.
I was like, just wait. The second one's coming up. Hey, but fair. This is how they act in this world. He is a slightly different one, but I didn't take the Shadow Fiend and double its hit points or anything like that. I've not done anything severe. It's a different Shadow Fiend. Obviously, he doesn't have any rat abilities, but because he's not Tattershade. But he is a very similar creature. So whatever assumption you might want to make based on Tattershade would probably be reasonable.
Yeah, I think Nyx remembers that, and because of that, disengages and dashes twice because she's feeling really powerless right now. Like even. The only things I could potentially do later, I need sneak attack to do. So, like, nothing I can do right now is going to be helpful for her other than just running.
All right.
Question.
Nothing, no shame in
never
that.
mind.
Relying on your party. Yeah, what's up?
Yes. No. I answered it for myself. I realized I read it wrong. But no, we can keep going. I just keep running.
All right. You run and, let's say, make it to the back of the room. This creature is going to follow, and he will hit you with a ranged spell attack this time. So this is a Psychic Enervation. I also forgot that he can technically daze you with his touch, but that was my mistake. I forgot that, so I will not penalize you for that.
Thank you. So generous.
So we will hit you with a Psychic Enervation. That's really bad. That's an 11 to hit.
Oh.
It does not hit.
Feels so bad.
Okay. So reaches out and tries to psychically attach to you, but your mind is far more slippery. Perhaps he did not anticipate that you were a fellow psionics user. He's not really a psionics user. That you were a psionics user, and his psychic damage does not take hold. But he does pursue you, and he does have a fly speed of 60, so he is able to catch up. And then we're going to go to Oobtagler, who is in the room behind. You are behind both of them. You come down the hallway, and now you see Nyx, then this demon, and now you at the start of this hallway. What would you like to do?
So how much distance is there between me and Nyx?
Fewer than 60 feet. Let's go ahead. Let's call it a 50-foot hallway.
Okay. Are there any loose objects around?
Oh, here we go.
But,
well, there was that little brass dealio that fell off the wall.
Broken lamp that fell through, yeah.
Broken lamp.
That's actually literally it, because the rest of this hallway is empty. It's not used for storage or anything. I'm gonna have to bring up the how to break down walls rules in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah, quickly, please.
Well, the finale of our very first season, it was incredibly important and critical, we discovered.
Oh, yeah.
Walls
time.
can't hold us.
Now I get to try to break the wall.
Well, so they're back down the hallway that we had entered. Are Nyx and the Fiend past the place we had entered?
No, I assumed that Nyx was trying to get back to the room, and so they are thus on the other side of the wall.
Like right there, okay.
Yeah, there was definitely enough speed to get there, and that's...
Sorry, Nyx, that's my...
I assume, Nyx, that's where you're going. Hey, you know, Nyx
okay.
has... Oh, Nyx doesn't have evasion yet, sorry. It's a 7th level feature.
Yeah.
I should probably bring up Roll20, huh?
Yeah.
I do have,
Uncanny Dodge?
Uncanny Dodge, yeah.
Oh, that might be good enough then. Yeah, I will cast Shatter.
Okay.
An effective tool for busting through walls.
I would like to actually center it on the wood paneled wall, but it's a 10-foot radius sphere, so I assume that would get the Shadow Fiend and Nyx as well, since they're like.
That's a great question. Give me 1 second. I will show you where you are. So you will see, and now the player, the audience won't see this because I will simply adjust the map to be this size, but include hallway. But for you will see that there is white space back here. That is that 10-foot wide hallway, and you will see the Shadow Demon there. So, Nyx, why don't you go ahead and drop yourself on the other side? Uptaglor, you're all the way down the hallway, but let's just assume that at the end of your movement, you can be at the edge of this map here.
Okay, sure. I do so.
And Belag and Ingrid, drop yourselves. Yep, perfect.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Oh, yeah. No, so you see, when I get a lower number, I win, but when you get a lower number, you lose. So you want the higher numbers, but I want both kinds of numbers. You're comprehending this, right? This is all making sense?
Oh, I'm comprehending. Not to impeach your accuracy, I just can't really imagine that the rules of this game are supposed to apply differently to the different players.
Well, we're playing the City of Dis rules, you know. It's different. Arboria, Candlekeep, all that. They've all got their own sets. And this one is from, well, Dis.
This one is Dis. Okay. So go ahead and roll the damage for me.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It's a 15. It's a Constitution 15 saving throw, by the way.
Okay.
A creature. Oh, it's a creature. 3d8. There we go. That's what it is.
Okay.
I actually have advantage on these too, because it's a spell, right?
Ooh.
It is.
You have advantage from, against spell. Oh yeah, you do have a magic item for that.
Because I have my Mantle of Spell Resistance, so I have advantage on saving throws against spells while I have my little cloak.
I'm going to call this this definitely a large object that you're trying to deal damage to, but I'm also going to call it neither fragile or resilient. We're going to call it right in the middle because it is just wood paneling. It is something you could break with an axe, but you know it's not steel, it's not stone, but it's also not tissue paper. So we're gonna go roll 3d10. This is how many hit points the wall has. 11 hit points. If you could deal 11 damage on your dice, then that is how much.
Oopsie baby.
Well, buddy, I rolled a 6, a 6, and an 8, so I think that's a flat 20.
Oopsie baby.
20 will be enough. All right. So, and how big is the area?
It's a 10-foot radius sphere. So
10-foot radius is huge. Yeah, you're gonna blow up. You're gonna blow up your
so
ally
I'm
there.
centering it on the wall.
Gotcha. So I think you're gonna hit everyone then.
Oh, good.
Whoops.
You know, you can't plan for the damage your players do to each other.
Well, what's the damage?
Okay.
20.
So
20.
Constitution, that's a 17.
You have to make a Constitution saving throw, though.
All right, that's a
anyone who's within 10 feet of me adds my charisma score.
Great. What's your charisma
Oh,
score?
nice.
That's
That's
everyone.
+3.
Does it 7?
All right, so you said
say?
20, and that'd be half down to 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would be half down.
So,
Okay.
Lykrich, who you did see. Whoa, nope. not 10 hit points, minus 10 hit points. Lycrich, as you can see his name there on the map, does take half. He succeeds. The wall fully blows up. Little shards of splinters go everywhere.
I rolled a 7.
I failed my save, so yeah.
I got a 15 with the charisma boost there.
Meets a pizza, I think, right?
Meets it, beats it.
So we
Hell
all
yeah.
take 20 damage.
Except for people who are in the spooky hallway.
Yeah.
And then in that
You
case,
do.
it's 10.
I don't know
Cool.
what city
Well, I'm
these
not
rules
quite
come
at
from.
half.
I'm below
I
half.
rolled really well, guys. I'm sorry.
At least tell me it damages the bad guy too.
Yeah, he took 10.
Cool.
Can you stack having damage?
halving?
You can stack if it's resistance and having the damage. But your uncanny dodge only works against attacks. This is a saving
Well, no,
throw.
because I have the because I succeeded, so
Mm-hmm.
that halves it. And then I was like, can I use my reaction uncanny dodge to have it again?
You normally would, but uncanny dodge is only against attacks that it has the damage. It's not against any
okay.
damage source, I don't believe.
Okay.
And everyone hears that.
And everyone hears that. Cool. All right. Can I get initiative from both Ingrid and Beleg? And then we're going to go into
Sure,
the
yeah.
Kimbeth round.
You know what? I still have my bonus action. I will inspire Nyx.
Okay.
As I will sing to the Shadow Fiend. Be uneasy, be afraid, you're gonna die to some psychic blades. What you gonna do when there's Nyx around? Now that there's Nyx around. What you gonna do when there's Nyx around? Now that there's Nyx around.
Hell
Harmony was
yeah.
very impressive.
Yeah.
Peglor makes 2 more mouths.
Hold on, let me sing it 2 more times. And Sophia can.
Shout out Hades down. Okay.
I'm not a music
you move
editor.
into that space. That's the end of your turn. And then that means that we have initiative Nyx, Lycrich, Ingrid, Beleg, and then Ooptagler all the way back at the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, I do know this thing is attacking you. And I don't want to tell you how to play, but I do know that there is a tendency to be like water and take the path that you're currently on. This is your lead. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So consider that with the actions you're about to take. Nyx, you're up first.
Okay. What do I have? I can't even talk to him telepathically, or else I break it with everyone else.
Can you talk to him with words?
You can talk to him with words.
What is that? I've never done that. You
Yeah,
can just
you can talk
use
and
your
walk at the same
mouth?
time. It's called a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, you flap your
Oh,
meat bits.
they named that after the thinky
Yeah,
talk.
exactly,
yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
First
that
came
makes
the
sense.
telepathy, then came the using your words.
Can you believe I couldn't remember the word telepathy this entire freaking episode?
Oh, you're welcome then.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to first of all, I want to because I move, then he gets an opportunity attack. Okay. I want to get within 5 feet of my friends also in case this does not work out, but
Yeah, well, you
can
do have
move
an area
down.
you can kite around there and not move out of his, what do you call it?
oh, I could just go.
Yeah, if you
Here.
move, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
You're still in his threatened area, so he doesn't get an
You're
obvious
right.
attack.
You're right. Okay, then now that I have sneak attack, I would like to use one of my. I'd like to use my just regular blades.
Sure.
Which are just a d6, but I do have sneak attack right now, and I'm going to try to trip. Well,
What do you have sneak attack from? You don't have an ally and you don't have advantage.
am I 5? Oh, I'm 5 feet within it. They are not 5 feet within it.
Yeah, they could sneak attack you.
Please don't.
I wouldn't know where to start.
I wouldn't know where to start. Okay, then I'm just going to use my regular daggers. I would like to... No, that's only with my psychic. No, I literally... Guys. Guys, it's all psychic. Yeah.
You could try and hide. It's a good start to keep it from just murdering you.
Well,
You could bonus action to disengage and then attempt to use your action to hide, yeah. I think the table is probably the only thing you could hide behind, but it's there.
yeah, because then that'll help me get that advantage. So I bonus action disengage.
Okay.
I already moved 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can I hide right there?
I
I can also go the other way. 5, 10.
Can you hide right there? Yes, I'm going to say it's not super obscured, so I'm going to increase his passive perception by 2, so your DC will be increased by 2. So that is a
Okay.
DC 14 for your stealth check here.
Okay. Easy. No problem. Nat 20, no problem.
Let's go.
No problem.
Cool, alright.
Which makes it a 29.
Not bad at all, considering your 6th level. Alright, I think that ends your turn.
Yes, that is all I can do.
Alright,
Yeah.
it is Lycrich's turn. A lot has happened since his last turn. He thought he was chasing down a rat that became a person, and then he thought he had that person cornered, and then an ooze attacked from behind. Ubteklor, this is important. Your armor is not on. And you do not have you do not have any of your equipment. So any spells you have to cast must be verbal, somatic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, got blown up from behind by that ooze, and now sees 2 people directly in front of him, and
grievously wounded.
He walks into dogs playing poker, but everyone is like a tornado went through. You want to deal in? Ante up.
what is he gonna do?
I could have sworn Nyx
feel
was
like-
here.
Okay, he's gonna spend 1 round doing this. He's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. You guys each take damage as he phases through you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
How much damage?
We're about to find out. It is 5 damage to each of you. 5 force damage.
We're fine.
This doesn't count as an attack or anything, right?
Correct.
It's just a thing he does? Cool.
And then, so that's 5, 10... As if they were difficult terrain. So actually that might be 5, 10, 15... hold on, he was here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's all he can do. And then he will... He's going to Agonizing Touch. Odds he's going to go for Ingrid. Evens he's going to go for Beleg. Let's just roll a d4
How you doing,
here.
Beleg?
That is Ingrid.
He's rolling at disadvantage. I'm using my protection feature.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay. Very lucky.
I
All right,
have
here we go.
6 hit
Agonizing
points.
Touch. He rolls
Don't
with
tell him that.
He rolls with +6 to this.
Oh, I'm out. No matter what he does, if he hits me.
No. He's rolling the attack
Oh.
still.
Yeah.
And he's doing it at disadvantage if he knows what's good for him.
I am doing it with disadvantage. The first one was a 15. The other one was cocked, so I'm going to re-roll the second dice. That is a 9 + 6 is 15. Does that hit?
My AC is 14, but I'm going to reactions silvery barbs that.
Okay. I'll roll in front of the group here. 1d20 + 6.
No. You're thinking of City of Brass rules. We're playing City of Dis rules.
Do they
Here
have
we go.
Celestia rules in this game?
No.
That's a 19 to hit.
That's
Fuck
worse.
you.
You do hit me. I'll give myself advantage, but you hit me.
That is 9, 10, 11 points of psychic damage.
Jesus Christ.
You would become dazed.
I go unconscious, actually, is what happens.
It does. It actually, you know what? It is important. I do need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Cool.
With +3 because of my aura of
With
extremely
an additional
coolness.
+3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And advantage.
that's a 7. Oh, advantage? Oh, right, I have advantage.
Yes.
Oh my god, I
Yeah,
gave
you just gave
myself
it to yourself.
advantage.
Can you give it to yourself, or can you only give it to another
You can
creature?
give it to yourself.
Silvery barbs?
Silvery barbs
Yeah.
you can give to yourself.
Okay, cool. What you have to remember is that I hate this spell in all of you, so I never remember.
Yeah, that's a 10 on the better roll.
A 10 on the dice?
A 6 on the dice and a 10 total.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. You are also dazed. This is important. Each time a dazed target, a target that is dazed in this way, fails the save to end the condition. So at the end of each of your at the start of your turns, you're going to roll to see if you come up from unconsciousness. At the end of your turn, you're going to roll to see if you end the daze. So it's possible to no longer be unconscious but still be dazed. If you fail to end the daze on your turn, each time you do that, your hit point maximum is halved.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was Lycrich's turn. Ingrid's turn. Can I get a death saving throw at the start of your turn, please?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's a 17,
Oh my
so that's a
God.
success.
That is a success. All right, now I need the DC 14 Wisdom save against the daze. You do get to add 3. By the way, you get to add 3 for your death saving throws as well from Beleg.
Oh, great. So that was a dirty 20 on the death save.
Dirty 20. All right, it almost
Wiz
mattered, but it didn't.
Is a 15. Oh no, 16. I had +1.
Okay,
So you end the
Okay.
condition?
so you do end the condition, and your hit point maximum is not half.
Thank God, because then it'll be.
That
fucking
brings us
15.
Thank God.
That brings us to Beleg.
Oh my god.
I shouldn't have.
My priorities have just dramatically
cheated at
shifted.
cards. So many regrets.
All right.
I'll be fine. You do what you're gonna do.
Yeah. I'm going to.
No pressure.
Moving another character takes an action, right?
You'd have to grab with an attack, so a grapple, and then you pull them away.
Okay, forget it. I'm just pumping in 15 points of lay in hands
Aw.
on Ingrid.
Thank you.
All right. He's going to use Denied Vitality. When a creature who the Wraith can see within 30 feet attempts to regain hit points, when they regain hit points, they can attempt to sap the life energy restoring the creature. The creature must succeed on a DC 14 con save or only regain half the hit points they otherwise would. So Ingrid, please make a
+3.
DC 14 Constitution saving throw. You add your con bonus plus 3 from Beleg.
Con is flat. And this isn't a charm by any chance, is it?
Nope.
Yeah, it's a natural 1.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Okay, so you only get
then
You still regain
you
hit
will-
points.
7 or
You
8?
do still regain hit points. You regain 7.
7.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm up.
Okay, hold on. Okay, and I'm also going to bonus action cast Sanctuary on Ingrid.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I feel
Wisdom saving throw
you-
to attack. Where asked to
If
choose
you
target.
make an attack, the effect ends, but, I want to give you, like, a round or two to breathe.
Thank you.
No problem.
Sweet. Does that end your turn?
Yep.
Oopsie, baby.
Oh, if only I brought my steed.
Okay. I will move 30 feet to go and recover my stuff.
Oh, that's
Okay.
where that
no
explosion
armor.
came
It's gonna
from.
take you. It's gonna take you time to put the armor on, but you can
Yeah.
pick up any spellcasting materials you need.
Yeah, I'll pick up my loot and my flux foil.
This fight
I'm
already
going
seems
to-
so much harder than the one against Tattershade, and he had a bunch of rats.
But we like the rats.
Not
They
for
were our
long.
allies.
That was probably the way we won faster.
Also, the rats didn't do 20 hit points of damage in their opening volley.
To be fair,
us.
No,
we did
he
that
did
to us.
20 hit points though.
That's true.
Who did that? That is so weird.
It's so crazy. Who said that?
Tattershade had this same stat block with a couple small amendments depending on rat stuff.
It really does depend on the rolls. Okay. So I do not put on my armor, which means that there is a set of mundane leather armor just laying around.
Correct.
Cool.
Oh.
I will, as an action, target the armor and animate it.
Excellent. Very, very good.
So, I suppose I'll just kind of have it occupy the space next to me.
Okay.
So it has an armor. It has a natural armor class of 16. It has
It's tougher to hit than
40
most of
hit
you
points.
guys. Sorry, go on.
It has 40 hit points, I believe. And then I can. Okay, hold on. I gotta read what it does. It's friendly to me and my allies. Shares my initiative count. It takes a turn immediately after mine. It can move and use its reaction on its own. I can use a bonus action to command it to take another action. Okay. So, I will... That was my action, animating the armor. I'll use my bonus action to inspire Ingrid, and then also I can use that same bonus action to command my living armor to do something. So, I will first inspire Ingrid.
Thank you.
Ingrid Starling, here we go again. My, take this inspiration. Ingrid Starling, blow for blow again. My, prove your reputation. These enemies can't see it. They're dead, I can guarantee it. Bye, when it's Ingrid as a foe.
I would love...
Ingrid Starling, now they really know. My, go out and put on a show.
I would love
Wow.
Ingrid as
Hell
Meryl
yeah.
Streep in Mamma Mia is such a strong pitch in my mind. Like that's a
That's very-
one shot
that's
we can
very
have.
good.
Let's do a Mamma Mia.
And then I can command it to do its force-empowered slam.
It's not bad.
So, okay, my turn is over. It uses its turn to move. It can do so on its own. So it has 30 feet of movement.
Gonna get into flanking, sure.
Yeah. I can move into flanking.
You watch as the
Yeah, we'll do
armor
it.
hops up, like a little disembodied, like empty armor walking around, and is gonna run over, hops up on the table, scurries across.
And it's gonna, like, mime, like, hitting its elbow, and it's gonna go for, like, a WWE wrestler slam.
Alright, roll an advantage to hit. Man, this guy's armor
Okay.
class sucks.
Oh, shame for him.
Okay, now I need to...
Well, it's
Oh,
the
that's a
trade-off to him
+7
being
to hit.
incredibly powerful
Awesome.
in other ways.
D20, I'm all flustered.
Why did something
honk.
happen that you might feel kind of bad about?
Natural 20, let's fucking go, armor.
Okay. So that's the max dice plus the roll, so...
Yep, so it's 1d10 plus 13 force damage. 5, so
And there's
18
no
points of force
resistance
damage.
to force here. Cool, alright. 5? Wait, what'd you say?
18
damage?
I rolled a 5, so it's 18
Okay.
points of force damage.
18 is not too shabby against this guy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da! Wham! The armor, like... guess he does not expect it, and frankly, neither did I. Alright, does that end your turn?
That does end my turn.
Alright, Nyx, it's you.
Okay, so I am hiding. Now I have sneak attack.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to hit first with my regular blades, not psychic.
You are hidden,
because
so you
the
have,
doesn't have
you do have advantage.
Oh, I would actually like to use my short bow. I forgot I even had that,
Yeah, go for
but
it.
I'm gonna use those. It is a 19 to hit.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage with your 3d6,
So
I believe.
I have
sneak attack.
3d6. I'm going to use one of them though, to, can I trip this guy? I know he floats, but it basically just he has to make a dex save.
I will say he has no legs.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
So consider what in his stat block might reflect that if you want to try to knock him prone.
I will also say it's not metagaming because you tried this with the other guy, and he also
I
I-
did try this with the
being
other
prone.
guy, yeah.
Yeah,
because
last
this conversation
week, that's
has
right,
definitely
years ago.
happened. Yeah,
Years
before
ago,
the
and
10,000 years in
also
time
last
prison.
week, and also
I don't know,
5
we
days
can put
ago.
him in a jar again. We've tried that a couple times and it's never worked, but maybe this time.
Okay. This is another weird question. This bowl I have. Can I trap him in it? Can I just pull it out and try to get him in it?
Just like, whoop.
Let's read what the bowl does, because I don't think it's really what it's meant for, but I see why you would
It
think
says
that.
it says can save a save a soul and bring them back. I don't know what this guy is. He's not corporeal. He's very.
Where is
Literally 3,000 years in Crystal Time Prison.
Yeah, exactly. Now you understand what it's like
God
on days
damn
I
it,
try
I
to
If
never
get
not,
find
because I know I
anything.
already rolled the hit, so I could, I have another.
It could be relevant. Could be relevant. I'm gonna go ahead. Where is this variable? I hate when I can't find what I put something like that.
Soul Bowl.
Soul Bowl. I know I've called it the Soul Bowl. I think it's supposed to be.
No,
the
I know.
This is a soul bowl.
I know. I just read it yesterday.
We were
'Cause I
looking
was
it up
doing
before
prep, and
this
I was
session.
like, oh. Oh, you know what? I wrote it in this session because this is where you attuned and got the... Cool. The Silver Bowl is used to catch the spirits of petitioners. Its main use is to save a petitioner's spirit until it can be returned back to its home plane. When the spirit is released, the bowl must be struck and the words Mandu Malar spoken. So I see why you think this is a creature, though, not a spirit, right? Like, it's
Okay,
spirit-like, but it's
Yeah.
it's not a soul, right?
Got it.
But I see why you would
understand.
think that. Cool. So you hit, though?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna hit with my short bow. I am
So
gonna
just be-
use one of I am gonna use one of my d6 to try to poison them.
Okay.
Oh,
Do something extra. So that's
Okay.
3
it's-
d6.
Plus your dexterity.
That's including 13 plus my dexterity is 19.
Oh, wait,
and
your dexterity
then-
is not plus 6. That would be your attack roll. Your dexterity is plus 3.
I'm
or
sorry,
4,
I'm
I
sorry.
assume.
That was me being bad at math. I meant plus 3, which is 16.
16. Okay. Half to
Yes.
8 because he resists non-magical damage. And he is immune to the poisoned condition.
Yeah.
afraid of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to try. It's
But does he
fine.
still
Yeah, to
take
try.
poison damage, or is he just immune to the condition?
He's immune to poison damage as well.
Okay,
Ah,
just checking.
Actually, yeah, damage immunity is poison. Yep. Sorry, I was reading in the resistances. All right, cool. Cool. That is now his turn. So he's gonna go like this. Hold on. 5,
Again.
10. Sorry, 5, 10.
What?
Okay, hold
15,
on.
20.
Hold on.
Hold on. My animated my dancing
Oh,
item
it
does
will
have
get
an
a
ability
reaction
called.
attack. Yeah.
This isn't a reaction. I think this is just a thing it does.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Irrepressible dance. When any creature starts its turn within 10 feet of the item can increase or decrease, your choice, the walking speed of that creature by 10 feet until the end of the turn, provided the item isn't incapacitated. So I would like... And it says irrepressible dance, so I assume that that the creature starts dancing, and that slows or speeds up its movement by 10 feet, my choice.
Interesting.
So I want it
So
to
you're gonna
start...
slow down the shadow demon.
Yeah.
Good.
It starts slow
Okay.
dancing.
Because it treats us like difficult terrain, so it's already moving at half speed.
Oh.
It is. So it goes from 60 feet fly to 50 feet fly. It's gonna go 5, 10,
People.
15, 20, 25, 30. Boom, on this side. Your item can take a reaction attack of opportunity if you'd like, I believe.
Yes, it'll do that. I guess
You
another
roll
force
another
empowered
crit,
slam.
I swear to God. Yeah, no advantage on this. Wait, advantage because he was flanking when he leaves? Yeah, I guess it would have to be, because you can't hit him from 10 feet away, which means you have to hit him when he's in the 5-foot space, which means that you have to have advantage.
23.
Yep, that'll hit.
9 plus 3, 12.
Okay, 12 points of damage, not too shabby. Okay, now he has moved through you. You guys are each going to take 1d10 of damage. I'll roll that in front of the group so y'all can see. You all take 4 points of force damage.
Do I take this with
Ingrid's
Sanctuary?
still up.
Or
What's up, Sophia?
does Sanctuary promote this at all? Or is this
No, it doesn't
it's
protect
not
you
an
from
attack
AoE,
roll.
and he didn't target you with a harmful spell.
Then I
It just
have
sucks.
3 hit points.
he just sucks.
Then he's going to attack Uptaglor, and he turns.
What did I
And
do?
he says, "Ah, master of many talents, what secrets lie within that mind? And he is going to try to kill you with an agonizing touch. That's only a 3 plus 6 is 9.
I'm not wearing
9 to
armor.
hit.
Okay, here's my question. Am I still wearing my... This can be your choice. Am I still wearing my ring of protection? Because if it's small enough to have fit within the hole, then I would have kept it with me.
Just pulls it through. Big enough
Great
to fit
question.
a rat. Big enough to fit a rat is probably big
rat.
enough to fit a ring.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
correct, if you're gonna fit a ring. Does it affect whether you get hit?
It just
with
increases
a 9?
my AC by 1.
No, I know, but does it affect whether you get hit with a 9?
Oh, no. It doesn't.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, hold on, that can't possibly come into play. Fair enough. I will rule that your ring is still on.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so he misses. That's his action. He doesn't got another one of those. Okay, that brings us to Ingrid.
So, Sanctuary will drop if you attack, cast a spell that affects an enemy, or deals damage to
I'm
another
going to call an audible here. Look, Shadow Creature, we've already dispatched one of your compatriots before down in the sewers, and I'm not particularly interested in doing it again, but if I have to, I will. Could we all perhaps slow down a moment and talk this out, or do we have to do this the hard way? I'd like to make some sort of persuasion or intimidation check to try and chat this guy down a little bit.
I'd like you to make an I'd like you to make an insight check first, and then you
Sure.
can choose whether you're persuading or intimidating. And I will.
So 22 insight.
Ooh.
Okay. When you mentioned dealing with one of his kind before, he takes notice of that. If there's something you want to say, if there's more you want to say with your action, because this is your action to make some sort of check.
Yeah.
Right. So if there's more you want to say, I will allow it since you're using your whole action here. But when you bring that up, he does grok to it.
You're not our first shadow to tangle with, and you probably won't be our last. But there's a chance you walk away from this, so, your choice. Sit down, play a round of cards, or we can just get to the dispatching early. Try and go for intimidation instead.
Alright, go ahead and roll intimidation.
Alright, thank you, dice, for not being terrible. That's a 19.
Hey.
Ooh.
A 19. It's tough because it's a good roll. I want to honor it, but at the same time, he's kind of kicking your asses, is my understanding. Can I get a sit rep on the hit points, by the way?
This is, 3.
13.
3? Sure. 13?
41.
Okay, so
25.
that was pretty good. Yeah. Okay, still pretty good.
And my living armor is at 40.
I'm going to call this a successful check, but not enough to get him to stop attacking you. So this is multi-layered here. Simply saying oh, we've killed shadow demons before. He's like, oh, well, right now he's like, oh, I'm better than them. But at the same time, he also is there's a self-preservation here that you are speaking to. And so he turns back to you, and he says, whatever exploits you've done, I will learn of them soon enough when I draw them from your mind.
Might be a long shot, but I think this dude might be a little bit telepathic.
Bleg.
Yeah.
We're in a
Look, it's been a hot afternoon.
we're in a hall full of people who have been going through and reliving memories and sensations. We're in this guy's all-you-can-eat buffet,
Oh.
and we've suddenly become the hors d'oeuvres.
I'm gonna honor it as a success, but he has not changed from attacking as of yet. Imagine that you've entered a small skill challenge here, mid-combat, and the consequences for failing are he keeps attacking you.
Great.
That was a successful check, though. Do you have any bonus action?
Yes, I'd like to bonus action disengage, and I'm going to run away.
Yes. Good.
Stand down. We've killed lots of you. Bye.
Bye.
30.
Run away, run away.
Scooby-Doo ass.
You just get up over the table, knock over the thing of wine. Okay.
I won't
The leg.
hesitate to run further.
All right. Given that it was a 10-foot radius hole blown in the wall, the squares to either side of the Shadow Demon are open, right?
Correct.
Great. Okay. 5, 10, 15, flanking. I'm going to attack him. Now that
Okay.
Ingrid is not in immediate danger. I'm going to roll at advantage because I'm flanking with Ubtaglor, which is nice. Let me just... All right. And I think I get 2 attacks per action now. God, it's nice being not level 3 anymore. All right, first attack. Yuck. Wait, hold on. What the hell is that? Oh, great. Okay, that's 2 12s.
12 to hit?
Yes.
Hits.
Hits?
Yeah,
Well, okay.
I told you he has a
then.
low AC. It's like his one weakness.
Dang, all right.
He's
I
made
have a
us
question.
smoke.
We found it.
So I have a question. I have all these abilities that let me stack damage on top of this as a bonus action. Can I make it non-lethal?
Yeah. Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Okay, then I'm going to use my, wait, hold on. How does this work? It's new. I only just
Yeah.
got it.
I think rules is written, you're only allowed to do it with melee attacks, but I allow any attack to be called non-lethal unless I think that there's no way to do it non-lethally, like shoving
Amazing.
someone off like a 600-foot building, you know?
Right. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is use my bonus action to cast Shining Smite, which I take immediately after hitting a creature with a melee weapon or an unarmed strike. So that's when that procs. It is concentration up to a minute, and it adds 2d6 radiant damage to my attacks. And it just kind of lasts until I'm done.
Okay.
Also, it makes him shine bright light, and attack rolls against him have advantage, and he cannot benefit from the invisible condition if that was a thing he could do. So,
Okay.
my damage, just a sec, it's 1d8 plus 2d6 plus 2d6 radiant plus 3, but it's all magic damage, so I assume he's just gonna take all of it
Yeah,
flat.
your sword's magic, so you're all good. You're good.
Yeah. Okay, that is 3, 6, 11, 14 damage on the first attack.
14 on the first attack, okay.
Yeah, second attack.
Pretty big.
He now glows, and attacks against him have advantage. So I'm just gonna roll this one at advantage anyway. Mm-hmm. That. Okay, yeah. 24 to hit this time.
Yep.
Yeah, same damage. Oh, that's 8, 10, 11. That's another 14 slashing radiant magic, etc.
Damn.
Okay. No smites in there?
I suppose I could, as a treat, also add a divine smite, which would deal 2d8 plus 1d8. No, sorry. Yeah, no, 2d8 plus 1d8 extra damage against
Yeah.
undead
If you
or
do it
fiends.
first
So
level,
yes.
it would be 3, yeah.
Yes, so I'm going. Yeah, I haven't used many spells this time. I'm going to spend 1 first level spell slot to do an additional 3d8 of radiant non-lethal damage.
Okay.
I don't have enough d8s out. That's okay. I'll just roll these twice. Wait. Yeah, no, that's correct. Okay. That is... The hell is that? Okay, that's 7 on the first 2, and for the final die, that makes it a clean 8. So that's 8 extra
Okay.
radiant damage.
8 is not quite enough. He's still standing.
That's okay. I just wanted to see if he was willing to change his mind after that.
Well, you didn't do anything to help convince it. Fighting is impetus for him to either fight or run away. It's not like a negotiation thing, right?
This doesn't motivate him to surrender so he can talk instead?
It might motivate him to flee because he thinks you're gonna kill him.
I might be persuaded to change my mind. Is this guy not thinking this through?
All right, it's not his turn anyway. Ubtaglo, you're up.
Okay. Seeing that Ingrid is trying to like calm this guy down, what can I say?
Do what you're going to do, my dude. I'll be over here on the other side of the table.
I will, if Ubtaglor decides to make some sort of check to treat here, I will take the massive amounts of damage you have just done to this guy into deep consideration when setting the DC.
In like a good way, right?
Yeah.
Like he
Yes, like it would
appreciated
really
it.
help your cause.
Yeah, like he was
That
like,
she
you know
almost-
what?
sorry,
I
that
needed someone
he,
to
the
set me
leg,
straight.
almost killed him.
Yeah.
Perhaps we got
He
off on the
likes
wrong
eating
foot. Well, we did. Well, I don't have a foot either. Shit.
Got off on the wrong pseudopod.
Perhaps we could start over from square one. My name is Uptaglor Uptaglor. We're out here looking for someone. Perhaps you might have some information on that.
All right, you gonna offer anything, or are you just gonna say that you're looking for someone?
You like gold? We'll leave you alone.
Okay.
What do you want? You can meet me halfway here.
That's not.
I kind of assumed you'd be
poor way
like,
to
tell us and we'll
negotiate.
stop killing you, but go ahead and roll your persuasion check. Or intimidation if you so choose.
You like gold.
You like gold?
I thought it was implicit. I thought it was an implicit understanding that we would stop killing.
All right, fair enough. Go ahead, roll intimidation or persuasion.
I'm not trying to intimidate. 24.
Damn.
24?
You like gold.
You say you're looking for information, and then he looks at you with desperation in his eyes, and you say, "Do you like gold?" And then he turns around, at this glowing paladin behind this glowing half-pint paladin.
Got my weapon stick.
And he turns back to you, Uptaglor, and he says, "Call off your dog."
Whoa.
Well, don't call him a dog,
That's
but
no way to make friends in
perhaps
this city.
maybe sheath the sword, Belag, and perhaps I think we're getting somewhere here.
All right, buddy. We'll see if I need you later. Sheath the sword.
All right.
He's still glowing, and all attacks against him are at advantage. Just I can't switch that off. It's just how it works.
He's still desperate here, so I'm going to not end, but rather pause combat, and know that it could pick up again following following Uptaglor's turn if things go badly. I'm calling this between Ingrid and Uptaglor's. You guys are in like a moderate space, right? You're kind of a neutral space to get information, so it could swing back one way or the other depending on your actions or your dice rolls. So, who would like to speak now?
Well, I think we're all confused here, but you seem to be eating the experiences of people who are, I assume, in the rooms at the other side of that hallway. We're investigating a person who's gone missing, presumably from around here. Perhaps we can come to some sort of exchange of information that would benefit both parties. Thoughts?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your persuasion here.
That is... Oh, you know what? I'm going to use my inspiration on this.
Okay.
What's that, a D6 or D8?
It is. It's a D8 now, I think.
I
It
believe
feels
it's
right
D8
for
now.
level 6.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And the little what is it? The little additional ability is that you can roll it again and choose which roll to use. So you can treat it like it has
Okay.
advantage.
Very cool. Very nice. Awesome. That is
Bardic Inspiration is a D8.
19 total then.
Woohoo.
19 total. All right. You bring up the first part where where you're like, "Oh, you're eating," and he stumbling into that which you do not know. You're in over your heads, investigators. And then he looks back at Belag and then looks at you again as if to say, "Well, so am I, though."
Just a little
It
guy.
is possible I know of this person who has gone missing. Who do you seek?
Kind of look over to where I think Nyx is.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, she immediately pops up. Nil, do you know?
No. Do you
They're-
offer anything besides the name?
They're a shapeshifter like me. They're a changeling like me. We kind of look similar. We're triplets. We were triplets.
You drop whatever you look like full on Nyx
Yeah,
now.
I think when I came out of Rat, I think I looked like Nyx. Yeah,
Gotcha.
when I came out of Rat.
When it came out of Rat. The name is not familiar, but I do recall a changeling. They were snooping.
What do you remember? What happened to them?
Well, I ripped their soul from their body.
Knives immediately come out of Nix's hand.
And did you put it back?
Perhaps.
No,
Oh dear.
I did not. And if you wish to know where it did go, I suggest that when we part ways here, we do not speak of it to anyone again.
If you don't tell me what I need to know, you will never speak to anyone ever again.
You see, he kind of looks around at the situation he's pinned in. And he says, "Your triplet was not the first to be taken here. It is business for me to collect the minds and souls of those who know great things and many secrets to sell to those who wish to know them. Your sibling was a snooper. I do not know whether they were investigating me or not. But regardless, I know a good mark when I see one. I pulled all that is them from their body and put it inside one of the stones."
Where is the stone now?
That stone, it turned out to be precious. It went where all the other useful ones go. In the ladies' ward, you will find a campus who belongs to a woman by the name of Zadara. She keeps a master of secrets among her pets. He calls himself Lothar the Old. Raised from his previous squalor beneath the ditch, he has his own place among the manor house where she might seek out his various secrets and knowledge of the city of doors. That is where the soul of your brother resides, if indeed it is still kept there.
Are those names familiar at all? Zadara and what was the other one?
Lothar.
Lothar the Old.
I feel like Lothar is familiar.
Anyone can roll a Zadara check. Actually, hold on. I'm going to call for this specifically. Uptaglor and Ingrid roll history for Zadara.
Okay.
Lothar the Old can be rolled for by Nyx. Excuse me.
That's a 21
History
for Ingrid.
checks. Okay.
14.
Okay.
History
And
17.
17? You've heard of Lothar the Old. The rats, he used to live under the ditch, and that's as far as you knew. Like, you didn't know he left or anything, but that lines up. Like, yeah, he's a spooky dude who has a collection of skulls that tell him secrets, and he used to live under the ditch, and apparently someone important recognized him and has raised him up out of that squalor and is keeping him close by. That person, Zadara, turned to Ingrid. First off, Uptegler, you've definitely heard the name. She's a huge patron of the arts. There is no longer a sensate head. That faction is disbanded. The Civic Fest Hall is run by various different organizations. But if there was some sort of like public face of that group, she's by far the biggest donor to the arts in all of Sigil. She preposterously wealthy.
For the Chronosphere of Lagos.
Oh,
She gambled for the Chronosphere of Lagos. She was among the men. Ingrid, you recognize his name. A mover. She is a mover and a shaker.
Oh.
She is on the same level as, in terms of things that go on in the city, she has her finger in as many pies as Shemeshka, as the Planar Trade Consortium, as Factal. Well, she's no longer a Factal, but Reese, who you might remember from the last campaign. Like, if there were lords of Sigil, Zadara would number among them. It might also be important to note that she looms large both in reputation and in size. She is a titan.
Ooh.
So she's literally like 25 feet tall.
Good to know. Well, your siblings in the hands of some movers and shakers.
Where is his body?
The souls go to many places, the best to Lothar. The bodies are taken to the mortuary. There, their many-eyed leader inspects them. I think that their status of waking death piques his interest.
Merimoth.
Yes,
Nyx
he
is
refers
fully,
to...
like, shaking and, like, about, like, I don't even think you need an inside check, is ready to begin combat again and kill this dude.
Hey,
like...
the leg's right there with you, so, just say the word.
Kill me if you wish. But if the Mind Stones of... If the secrets stop flowing, then she who funds all of this motion will know, and she will seek revenge. Kill me if you wish, but know that it will not be the end if you do.
Okay, I throw my dagger.
Okay,
fighting.
go
You
ahead
have
and roll an
because
attack.
he's glowing.
Yep.
You do have advantage. You have sneak attack. Go ahead and roll an attack roll. It is your turn next, and so I'm going to allow this in initiative order. Otherwise, it would have gone through initiative. But because it is your turn, Nyx, like I said, we paused combat.
I got a
Go ahead and
19
roll to attack.
hit.
That definitely
I got
hits.
a 19 to hit, and then so I have my sneak attack. I'm not even gonna try to do something fancy. I'm just using all my sneak attack and my
Okay.
short bow damage. Oh, I see
I-
my dagger, my D4.
I think I'm going to silvery barbs that.
Okay. You go to shoot, and Ubtaglor is going to try to spare Lykrich. Okay, re-roll your attack, and you're going to have to use the lowest roll.
Okay, that's cute. That's really cute. It's a 13 plus 6. I rolled
hits.
a nat 20 and a 13.
Oh.
That is still a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
I'll give my advantage to Ingrid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No one has my back. I know Ingrid has my back.
I got you, buddy. I also don't want to fight.
6, 9, 14 damage.
That is 14 halved to 7 since it is non-magical. And with 6 remaining hit points left,
Oh!
tell me what happens to Lykrich.
It is just, it's so simple. It's just her dagger, her regular dagger that she takes off of the belt. There's nothing magical about it, but there is so much force and anger in a way that, like, you've kind of seen Nyx pretty chill. Like, Nyx is like a kind of an apathetic character most of the time. This is the most anger you've seen from them ever. And I think, like, they are shaking, they're vibrating, and they just throw it with a deadly accuracy, no hesitation, right into the center of this guy's face.
You watch as it hits the center, it carves through, and his body begins to turn to demonic ooze that slops the floor, and the dagger passes clean through and buries in the wall just next to Beleg's head.
Beleg doesn't
Or I
flinch.
guess just above Beleg's head, yeah. And all of you watch as the person who just warned you about the hell that would rain upon you if his job stopped, if he stopped doing his job, if he died, you watch as he is murdered by, he is an evil demon, murdered by Nyx in retaliation for what he has done to her sibling. And that is where we're going to go to break, and we're going to pick up with the aftermath of that attack in just a minute.
Oh,
Nice.
man.
Very spicy. I like
See y'all
it.
back here in just a sec.
Rolling with difficulty.
You know what's been great?
What's that?
Our guest Olivia. I mean, what a player. I still can't believe they faked us out like that.
I hear you, but it makes sense they could pull something sneaky off after all their quote-unquote criminal activity over on Rolls Untold.
Rolls Untold? What's that?
You haven't heard? Rolls Untold is where we borrowed Olivia from.
I should have taken a closer look at that resume. Sounds interesting. What's it about?
Rolls Untold posits a magical world on the brink of technological rediscovery, where 4 alleged criminals, including Olivia as Ismith Vordescent, band together to break out of a high-security prison. While on the lam, they find themselves caught in the midst of a plot to rid the world of magic altogether. Will they be able to save all of Arcana, or will this spell out the destruction of Galvira forever?
Ooh, perilous.
Perilous and exciting. It's worth checking out. I know I've enjoyed joining the cast of Rolls Untold as they try to save Galvira.
I might just have to join you in that watch party. Where can I check it out?
Season 1 of Rolls Untold is available on YouTube right now. And Season 2 is coming soon, so it's a great time to jump in.
Sounds like it. And I assume I can just go to the show notes below to check it out for myself?
Or direct from their YouTube channel, but you got the gist of it. Check out Rolls Untold Season 1, available now. Rolling with difficulty.
When last we left our heroes,
Hero.
you stand in the sensorium, the Ichor that was once a demon, known as Lycrich, whose name you never asked, falls to the floor. The dagger that was vibrating in the wall behind his dissipated body comes to a stop. Investigators have opened shut. What would you like to do?
That might have been
Do I know?
bit premature.
Sorry, do I know what happened? Like, do I know that Utagler tried to do something?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
cast a spell on you.
Yeah.
It's like a full,
Yep, you've seen him do it. You've seen them do it a bunch of times.
yeah.
Utagler doesn't say anything, but they're just looking at Nyx.
What was that?
That was me trying to prevent you from getting a lot of shit on our asses, Nyx. It
Well-
failed.
Yeah, it did. Aren't we going after her now anyway? Aren't we going to be... Why are we waiting for the shit to come to us? We're going to the shit. Why are you so scared?
I just think that maybe a line might have been crossed, which is crazy coming from me.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's crazy coming from you.
Taking apart something this big has to start somewhere. It's not like leaving this as it was would have been good either.
There's a lot of seedy underbelly to the theatre scene. I'm not too surprised that something's going on here. It might have behooved us to have been a bit more, temperate in our approach, but, we have to play the cards where they
Okay.
lie.
Like, we're not
Okay.
just committing to finding your sibling now, Nyx. We're committing to taking this down.
Well, we should have been doing that anyway, so good opportunity.
Okay, the next time that we come across someone who openly admits to, I don't even know what he did, but he did
I don't
something
even know either,
that made
but I know
my
what you
sibling...
did.
He made my sibling not part of their body and took their soul and now sold it to someone to work for them. So next time we come across anyone who has hurt you or your own, I might also just say, don't do anything about it.
Maybe they knew a way. Maybe he knew a way to put him back. I'm just saying that there was more information we probably could have taken from him.
He gave me the information I needed. I know where I need to go now, and if I figure out that later on I might have needed it, I'm sure I'll be smart enough to figure out an alternative solution. But I don't need him that badly, and I'm sorry that I didn't consult the team before I made this decision. But clearly this is a little more personal, and I thought you, of all people, after what I just helped you with, would understand.
I'm gonna step over the goop pile and get back into the room.
Yeah, it's slowly turning into nothingness, the goop.
Oh, that's nice. He's self-cleaning. Look, guys, I I understand emotions are running a little bit hot right now. I'd be lying if I said I was entirely unhappy with the situation. It's not like I wanted this guy to go back to de-souling innocent patrons and selling them to the highest bidder while their still living bodies are shipped off to the morgue. I feel like it's probably pretty good that we stopped that. And even if we've just unraveled a bigger mess that we're gonna need to fix anyway. The mess was gonna need to be fixed by somebody someday. May as well be us.
What's the point of investigating if you don't do anything about what you find?
I'd like to weed through the goop of the guy while they're having this conversation and see if he's got anything on him.
Nope, he has no magic items on him. He is
or clues of any kind.
Important to note, he's not dead because he's a demon, so he's just in the abyss now.
Ah.
Same is true for Tattershade.
Well,
I want to be clear. It's not that I'm holding any remorse for destroying this person. But I feel like our conversation went unfinished. There is a living body and there is a soul inside a stone. Maybe there is a way to put the two back together. But we'll never know that now, will we? Are you satisfied with just having the two disparate pieces of your sibling?
How do you know we'll never know that? You think he's the only one in the entire operation who knows how to do this?
Would you rather ask the shade of which a kind we've defeated before? Or would you rather ask a titan? Or a death tyrant?
We could see if the folks at the hospital would know how to deal with something like this. It feels like the kind of thing that might be in their purview.
But like, whose side are you on, man?
Me?
I feel like perhaps
Yeah.
we're letting
Just-
this...
You seem to not...
We're letting
You
this...
seem to not exactly hold...
Oh, dear.
I thought that a bit of pragmatism would have been something you would have wanted either, but no, you seem rather tunnel-visioned at destroying this fellow.
Well, you got to understand, pragmatism is all well and good, but it frequently leads to an erosion of values. If all we think about is what makes things easiest for us, what makes things the least troublesome for everybody, we wear ourselves away, we stop knowing what we're standing for. I wasn't about to let this guy go back to his business no matter what he told us.
I was never going to say that we were going to let him get back to his business either. I'm saying that there was information we could have gotten from him.
I'm not about to hold somebody overly responsible for something they did in a moment of, I would say, extremely justifiable anger. And I think there's more than enough other leads we can use to unravel the situation without putting too much onus on the person who did what we probably would have been doing anyway.
If you need this one guy to tell you more information, maybe you're not a very good investigator. And
A very good investigator takes every path that's available
like
to them.
this conversation is getting a little bit away from the core issues. To address what I think everyone is saying in order, because again, Ingrid looks like shit. She's got 3 hit points. She's like covered in goop.
Ingrid, come here. Let me get a few more.
She address it. Look, and she'll sidle over towards, but like, Nix, I completely understand and I sympathize that this is an emotionally charged issue, and I do not hold any rash actions against you, but I want to remind you that we are all on the same side, and we are all committed to helping you find your sibling, reuniting their soul with their body, and if we can take down the operation in the interim, excellent. It is to our benefit that this is not happening to other people who might become our future clients, but going forward with it, it is helpful to us to at least act as a team as much as possible. It's how we're able to solve investigations efficiently, and how we're able to make sure that any one emotional response from any one of us is not enough to prevent us from most quickly helping the client, which in this case is you and your sibling. And to Ubtaglor, I don't think it's wrong necessarily to aid that, but perhaps in the future we can try words over spells, and to Beleg, yes, of course we're going to take down this organization, but we are probably going to have to do some subterfuge, so if Sword is telling you to do evil things, or to do good things, I suppose, we're going to have to do some less than stellar ones, because we are about to go toe-to-toe with, and I'm rather familiar with this lady, as she's something of a patron of the arts, an incredibly powerful titan, so subterfuge is going to be in order. Now, are we all capable of being adults who have a job to do and getting on with that
Don't
job?
talk to us like we're children. What are you doing?
Ooptaglo, you're on incredibly thin ice right now.
Ingrid,
Incredibly
10
thin
more
ice.
points of healing.
Use
Thank you.
words when a nearly in motion knife was about to be thrust upon that creature. Use words instead of spells. That's your argument against me.
I don't disagree with the attempt to halt an attack, but I do think that if we continue to go back and forth over whether a knife that has already been thrown should or should not have been thrown, we are going to be in this dark basement room for hours, and I'd like to get on with some of our other leads if we could.
The door opens, and Frillup, who heard the sound of the explosion about 30 seconds ago, comes in. What's going on? Black gods! What did you do?
Oh my gosh, it was awful! We went to go relive the memory, and at the big climactic aria, there was this actual real-world explosion. As you can see, I was right in the vicinity and barely survived.
I'm gonna
Deception check at disadvantage.
Deception? That's barely untrue. I'm gonna gesture at the rapidly diffusing.
Lies of omission are still lies. They fall into the deception category. Sorry, Red, go on.
I'm gesturing at the rapidly dissipating slime pile that radiates evil magic. I hate to tell you this, Frilip, but your establishment has a bit of a pest problem, or at least had, I would hope. Some sort of nasty smoke demon seems to be in the business of consuming people's souls, emotions. I didn't really stop to ask.
It's a 17 on the
Oh
deception
shit,
check.
did you kill it? I mean, what was it?
17.
Oh, shit, he's in on it. I suppose let's go and finish the job then.
Well,
I won't stop you.
Puts up his
Jesus,
hands
sir.
and just turns and runs.
Look, I feel like...
No, go on, act. Go on, act without consulting the group first.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm not usually working with a group. Normally, it's just me, okay? Sorry, I'm not used to asking permission before I do everything.
That's fine. Thank you for
We
thank you
do.
for
We
apologizing.
should stop that guy. Honestly, though.
Thank you for apologizing.
Ooptaglor, your heart equivalent is in the right place. But you have to know the meaning of the word hypocrisy at this point.
Is this still about the fucking monster house?
I'm gonna leave them to their argument and start booking it after Frillup, because I'm like, we do actually have to stop that guy.
What about the monster house?
What about the monster house? What would you have suggested? Beleg, I admire your ability to think that we can defeat anything and everything that is put in our way, but that's simply just not the case. Sometimes an alternative path than destroying it is necessary sometimes.
Ooptaglor, you may have misinterpreted me. I very much am aware of my limits. There are many, many things I can't do, and there are many things I can't defeat. I just know that it's important that how you do it stays right, even if you can't do it all by yourself.
I think on that, Sophia, what did you say that
Yeah,
Ingrid
they're
was
going to
doing?
argue about this for a while, so Ingrid just starts booking it after Frillup, because she's like,
Yeah.
we do actually have to stop that guy.
Yeah. You can catch him.
I think,
he's
as
a normal
Nick
ass dude. You're a
said,
level
we
6
still have to stop
adventurer.
that guy. I follow you.
All right, so Nyx and Ingrid go after. You can easily overtake Frillup. He's lumbering. He does like a gorilla run because he's got big long arms. He's a troll. But it's easy to get in front of him and cut him off.
Hey, buddy. I'd like to speak to a manager about what just happened. What's the best route to do that?
We don't keep those here.
Great. So who's higher than a manager that I can speak to about that?
Listen, I like you, Miss Starling. I suggest that you leave, and then we can both pretend that you weren't here, so we don't have to worry about any of this coming down right in on your head.
I'm okay with that relation, actually. I'm gonna go back to my group. Come on. We've got a gang to gather. Oh my gosh. It's like having a bunch of geese following you around. Tap, 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 tap.
All right. Are you guys are just gonna leave Frillup, and you're just gonna both you're gonna like,
Yeah,
go
I
your
think
separate
we
ways?
both, like-
neither of us
Okay.
were here.
Neither of us were here. Awesome.
All right.
You guys return Beleg and Uptaglor, they come back.
Well, tensions in here could be cut with a knife. Could I posit that we could continue this argument out on the streets and not here at the scene of the crime?
I don't know if out on the streets is all that much better.
I don't think there's really any resolving this. It's clear that there is a clear moral sort of impasse here.
All right, it seems to me like we've got a few angles of approach. My question is, should we first attempt to retrieve Nil's body from the morgue before we do anything else?
I would like that.
Yes. The morgue is here, or is this where I was investigating that dead guy?
The mortuary is where you tried to get in it. They were real pains in the ass. It's like a big-ass fortress.
Yeah, they're real pains in the ass over there.
I'll show you a picture of it, actually.
That makes me feel like there's a battle map involved. Is there a battle map involved, Austin?
What?
I mean, there could be, but my point more is that it's...
Even if there's not, we've proven that we don't need a battle
one
map
of these,
to get into
One of
combat.
these is a dude that you learned about that you could go visit, and the other is a faction that you learned about. Like, one of them is a dude who knows a lot of things, and the other is one of the more powerful beings in the whole city. So this is what the mortuary looks like.
Ooh.
It's like a big-ass fucking labyrinthine thing. Yeah, so it's extremely intense, and yeah. I feel like I've said enough words.
So just to...
It's like a whole campus. It's like where you are now, the Civic Fest Hall. It's its own, like, huge ass built, like, if this is the Pentagon of the Arts, it's the Pentagon of dead people.
Cool.
Nice.
So just to get it straight in my mind, as Sophia, the person who's taking notes, the sensory stone with the soul in it is in possession of Lothar the Old, who works for Zadara,
Yes.
and they...
He
and
works for Zadara.
Lothar, like, resides and works in the mortuary, and the body is also there, or...
Nope.
No.
They went to separate places, so
Gotcha.
Lothar is somewhere near Zadara. He didn't get an exact answer out of Lykrich, but he's like, oh yeah, he used to live under the ditch in like a hole in the ground, and she's given him a place to stay by her now, so that he can, like, she can call on him. He's moving up in the world, and then the body went to the mortuary, and it's somewhere in the mortuary,
Sweet. All right. Well, we could break into the mortuary.
or at least that's where it was.
Actually, do we know if there's anything stopping us from just asking for it back at the mortuary? Like, is it... I don't know.
Claimed by next of kin? Feels like we
Kind
would
of,
probably
yeah.
have the ability to do that, yeah.
Well, it sounds like the mortuary is the first
Oh.
stop either way.
I just would like to go quickly if we can. The sooner we get there, whatever we do when we get there, I don't care. Let's just go.
Of course, dear.
Alright, speed to the essence.
Is there any chance that walking there can qualify as a short rest?
Walking would not. If you would like to take an hour, you can short rest. I mean, you could get out of the sensoriums. There's a huge ass campus here. You could go sit in an auditorium. You could go out on the lawns. You could go to a nearby pub if you would like to do your short rest.
I mean,
But
this is...
you can't walk and short rest at the same
I
time.
took more hits than the rest of the gang, so if we want to just push ahead, we can absolutely do that. But I would not be opposed to
yeah,
taking a
you're-
quick little...
I can start burning spell slots to heal you, but otherwise I'm pretty much tapped.
then-
I only have 5 left
No.
in my own hands.
I have spell slots. I'll do
Oh,
a third
right.
level healing word. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are actually also really, really close to Maze if you wanted to go hang out in there.
Why would we do
Why
that?
would we
Maze
do
clearly
this?
hasn't been relevant since we were, you know.
What
certainly
else?
haven't heard
The
anything that would
Blackwind
make me think
Tavern is
otherwise.
also nearby. The Blackwind Tavern is where no one speaks, and everyone got really pissed when you went in and started talking to people.
That would be a bad place to try out
That's
my
also nearby.
song of
Maybe an
praise.
hour of no talking is best for right now.
A nice way to put us into quiet time.
Everyone has to sit in silence.
I was just looking at the map to see what was nearby. I was like, that's actually very funny. That's 2 blocks away.
I think we all need a little bit of quiet time.
I will heal you third level healing word, Ingrid.
Oh, thank you. Then we don't need to take a short rest.
You know
12.
what? I actually think this is where we're gonna pick up the pin from the beginning of this session.
Ooh.
28 on investigation.
Whoa.
Oh.
As you guys are deciding what to do and where to go, Ingrid, two things come to your mind. You're dealing with a missing persons case, and you just learned of a sprawling missing persons case where the bodies end up in the mortuary.
Huh.
You think of what Lykrich said about how Nil was a spy. It was rude. Or it was a little rude of me. Nil was a spy, and that made them useful to take because there's like all this information that they knew, right?
Yes.
And you think of who you know who went missing and left a note about the mortuary, who was a detective. And then you think of when you went there recently looking for him, and they gave you the runaround and turned you away.
Yes. I have a stinking suspicion that, all missing persons...
Nor also got
love
that.
I
saw the
love
stinking
that.
suspicion.
That's so
face.
good.
Thank you. Yeah. No, Ingrid's gonna kind of file that under, definitely keep a sharp eye. She's kind of trying to split her brain right now between, like, being the boss a little bit, being like, you've got everyone is fighting, the girls are fighting, and you have to keep them from doing that long enough that you guys can successfully all complete this job and not die. Also, you're actively dying. You have like 7 hit points. And then also having like a brain blast moment on the other side of her head, like, oh my god, the missing persons cases are suspiciously similar to their occupations and where they might have been poking around. Like, these could be connected. And the mortuary definitely didn't want me poking around there before. So she's connecting some dots, but the threads are also all tangled up with the 7 hit points of it all.
Sorry, did you log in your 12 hit points yet?
I did
because
not.
I just realized I remembered that I have catnap, and so we can take a short rest in like 10 minutes.
Oh.
I did not log in my hit
If
Were
you
we
so
short
please,
resting
yes.
while we were yelling at each other?
You could
Ingrid was, I don't
choose
know
to
about
take a
you.
short rest
Stretching.
now. And I would just be curious. I would love for you to narrate where you take it, but that is up to you and a character flavor decision.
I know
not
a
mechanical
great
one.
green room. If we just go up a level and then sort of around the back, there's a smaller black box theater, and they barely ever use it. I'm sure we can crash on the couch in there for just a brief moment.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. You guys travel not far from the scene of the crime at all, upstairs to a small black box theater where you pick out seats in the empty room. Everyone's spread out, stay close together. What is paint the scene for me?
Ingrid finds the most dramatic looking couch, probably a piece of set deck, and just drapes herself across it and passes out.
Uptegler will find a different couch, I suppose. They can only choose 3 people for the catnap, so they will choose everyone except for Uptegler. Like, they only took like 4 points of damage, so they're fine. So, yeah.
Okay. A short rest
cool.
it is.
I think Nyx, whatever, if it's a black box, you know how in black box theaters, like, the backstage area is, like, all of 2 feet wide? Yeah. In a corner, in a backstage corner of the black box, they have created a tiny little, like, pillow fort. Like, just, like, set dressings and, like, is just in there, like, huddled up alone.
Aww.
All right.
Brief little catnap.
So, you cast your catnap spell. I assume that you play a little song with Dagmar?
Yeah. I don't have a musical parody for this, but yeah, it's just kind
Wouldn't
of
be
like,
very nappy if it was a pop song. Or,
I know, right?
So
yeah,
what
it's just a
what do you
very
play?
like kind of like quiet lilting sort of tune that kind of just meanders and like almost hypnotic in the way that if you were to focus on it, it kind of makes you sleepier. And then they'll just continue to play that for the 10 minutes, and then with a final strum, just kind of wake everyone up.
Nice.
All right. Roll as many hit dice as you like. You do have a bard, which means I think you also get Song of Rest.
Yes.
Oh, well, that might only be when you take a real short rest.
Ingrid?
I think when you only take a real short... Because you... I think you... Does it say you take a short rest, or do you gain the benefits of taking a short rest?
Beginning at second
you,
level, you can use
Catnap.
the soothing music of oration to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. If you or any friendly creatures who can hear your performance regain hit points at the end of the short rest by spending one or more hit dice. I think it has to be a real short rest.
So just oh, really? Well, let me see what Catnap says.
Yeah, what does Catnap say? Does it say that you take a short rest, or does it say, like, you gain the benefits of a short rest or something?
Gains the benefit of a short rest.
Okay.
Thwarted again.
So, yeah, so I don't think that Song of Rest would apply here.
All right.
Go ahead, roll your hit dice. Recover Bardic Inspirations, or you're a paladin, you don't get anything.
Nope.
You're a rogue, I don't think you get anything.
No, it's just my psionic power. I get one of my d8s back.
Oh, that's not bad, considering you've used a couple.
Yeah. I used to, yeah.
All right. And where do you go now?
I believe our first stop is the mortuary.
No arguments here.
You guys travel back not far from where your home base is, actually. Pardon me as I move across the map. You are just a little ways from the Shattered Temple District, right by Gear Street and Hellgate districts. And just on the other side of basically that row of houses. So you have your agency is across the street. There's like a big chunk of houses. If you go over those chunk of houses, that is where the mortuary is in the Dead District. Aptly named. So, crossing back through where you came from, you enter into Ragpicker Square, and the even sootier, darker, grimier portion of the lower ward here, where no one dares try to sweep the ash off the street. The only marks that are there are the wagon wheel tracks from the carts that bring in the dead bodies, and you arrive at the massive gate of the mortuary in the Dead District.
Has an hour passed since the fight with Lycree?
Yes.
Lycrich.
Lycrich. Yes.
Lycrich. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say travel, I usually assume, is roughly an hour. So you had an hour there, spent like half an hour back. So we're looking at 2.5 hours in since you've left coming up on 3 hours, let's say, just to keep it round. Just since you've left the agency this morning, and that is important for the psionic dice. You still have 3 hours left.
Got
Okay.
it.
By the time we get to the mortuary, the animated armor who Oopteglor is just letting walk with them the entire time just kind of plops to the floor.
Oh dear.
And so then Oopteglor will take the time to redon that armor.
Sure.
It's a neat trick.
Just
Yeah,
learned
you've
it.
never seen this happen before.
So I've actually popped by here in the course of different investigations, and they're not especially forthcoming. So we could try and go in through the front door, as it were, and see if we can get past the runaround. But watching those carts go in and out does occur to me that we could try and go in a less direct route if we were interested.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I've been here in the past in the course of other investigations, and they're not very forthcoming, so while we certainly can try walking up to the front door and getting past the runaround, there's a bunch of carts of dead bodies going in and out. I thought perhaps we could also try a less direct route if we wanted to proverbially play dead.
Oh.
That face, Beleg, suggests you do not want to do that.
Well, I certainly won't want to participate. I'm not saying nobody can do it.
We can try the front door first, but I'm going to tell you now that honesty and directness are not going to get through the front desk agent at that particular gate.
Well,
Do you think?
maybe so.
Yeah, I guess not. We already know that they were taken under really sketchy circumstances anyway, so I don't think next of kin is going to be any help.
Well, it's better than nothing. why don't we try the next of kin approach to start? And if we can't get anywhere after a certain amount of time, then we play dead.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, so what would you like to do?
Nyx? Now is the time.
Yeah, I look at Ingrid like I don't know.
Yes, I need you to be the grieving widow, so to speak. So if you could, I don't know, get a shawl of some kind and just start really sobbing, that'd be awesome. Everyone else look dour as well, and I'm going to walk right up to the gate and tip tap tip tap, knock knock knock.
Wait, whose next of kin are we trying to attain here?
Nyx's, obviously.
Why doesn't Nyx just go as themselves?
Well, yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna do. Do I have to cry? I can't cry on command. I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
Can I just be sad in like a regular way?
I suppose. Sure. Whatever works. Whatever your method is, you know. Get to the role as to.
Ingrid is like, amateurs.
I could do my best. Like she tries like. Is that anything?
Yeah.
Make a performance check for me.
My performance is an 8.
Oof.
Rolled an 8. Ingrid, you've seen better.
Ingrid will put a comforting hand on her shoulder. You're doing great, honey. Thumbs up. All right, let's try this, shall we? And I'll go back and walk up to the gate and knock.
All right. You go bang on the gate. You bang for a full minute, and you're like, is there anyone here? And then you hear a flap of wings, and on the other side of the gate, this Aarakocra, who is like a full vulture dude. It's unclear if he's a vulture or just bald, but he's certainly giving vulture vibes. Flaps down and lands on the other side, and he says, "What? What do you want?
Hello,
Are you breathing?
Am I what?
Breathing.
I hope so. Look, we're here with...
Then you're too early. Come back
No,
later."
hold on. You have someone who's not breathing that we need. Now, I'm here with the next of kin of one of the bodies that was brought here, and we understand that it's their right to get those belongings and body back. This is exactly your sort of shit.
Sorry, you've got it backwards. We don't give out dead bodies, we take dead bodies.
Well, the dead body's got somewhere to go. You ought to bring it out here, or let us in to find it. I mean, seriously. You'd think you'd want less dead bodies. I can't imagine the workload you're swamped under right now.
Not how it works. First off, we can't have enough dead bodies. Clearly you're doing a sickle. Second off, if this is actually a loved one, then in due course, as we investigate where the body should go, we will deliver it to the person who should be receiving it, the next of kin, along with their possessions. People who show up looking to get in and take things are usually grave robbers who are too lazy to actually pick up a shovel. So why don't you step along?
I don't think we're going to be doing that today, sir. Can I make an intimidation
Picking
check?
up a shovel or stepping along?
Stepping along. Can I make an intimidation check, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Do grave robbers usually have that holier-than-thou types with them? Honestly.
That is a 22.
Oh,
Gods! He's threatening my life!
I'm just standing here.
He starts to... He, backs up, and you see that there are ghouls around that are clearly kept on chains, and you start to see a couple of them wander towards the front gate as he flies up a little bit.
Are ghouls mindless?
Yeah, they're not smart.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna, turn the unholy.
Okay.
We're going in the front door. I don't care what this guy says.
oh my god.
So, each fiend or undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw DC 14.
Alright. You watch as one... lets out a whining dog sound. So first off, they're emaciated humans with huge big jaws and long skeletal sharp fingers. Their skin is blue and they're basically wearing tattered loincloths at this point. They've been dead for so long. You hear one go, "Arr, arr, arr," and let off like a sad dog sound and scamper off. And the other one just comes up to the bars and begins like reaching through kind of mindlessly at you, swiping. You guys are, I assume, standing far enough back that you're not actually against the gate. He can't actually reach you. But you see his jaw opens and his tongue is like 12 to 15 inches long and begins to like sag out and like lick at the bar.
Would we really bring a divine being here if our plan was to desecrate the dead? It goes against just about every single divine domain's tenets. We're here very genuinely.
Yeah, about 3 times a week we have some paladin who thinks they need to kill all the undead show up to kill all the workers.
I can't imagine why. You seem to run such a tightly knit establishment.
He says, "I'm sorry, do you want to pick up all the dead
We don't want
bodies?"
to pick up all the dead bodies. We want to pick up one very specific
Well,
dead
then
body.
you need us. And if you need us, you need the zombies.
Certainly, sir. In fact, we're here to pick up just one dead body, and then we'll be out of your hair.
Technically, they're not dead.
I'm not sure we're supposed to know that, bud.
I move to the front and I just say, please, I don't even know how you would deliver them to me. I don't have a formal address at the moment, so can you just confirm that they're in there at least, or can you just give me anything? It's my sibling and I just want to know, please.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
I'm gonna try to persuade you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I give you the help action by looking extra intimidating and be bad cop?
I was going to say if it's persuasion.
That would be helping with an intimidation, I would say.
Could
All right,
Ingrid...
not that you can't help with this persuasion. Not that you can't help with this persuasion, but I'd like to hear... Whoops, hit the mic. I'd like to hear how you help with the persuasion and not just continuing your
As
intimidation.
the person who's been good copying, could I help with the persuasions with Ingrid's kibitzing?
Again, you're welcome to. I want to hear how
Yeah.
you're going to help.
I was trying to give her acting lessons earlier, kind of on being especially sad and pitiful, and so Ingrid will like go around and just ever so slightly like drape the hood a little bit sadder and like do the big puppy dog eyes, like, yes, we're so innocent and sad, and we just want one little bit of information, sort of help out with the role.
All right, go ahead and Nyx roll a persuasion with advantage.
That is an 18 plus my persuasion, 2 for a dirty 20.
Woo!
You guys really aren't going to leave us alone, are this?
No.
About this, are you?
Not at all.
Fine, come in. You can leave your name, we'll get you any information, but no bodies are walking out of here. I mean, the bodies that are reanimated zombies will walk out of here, but you're not walking out with any bodies today. So don't get your hopes up.
Very fair and equitable. Thank you, sir.
Opens the gate and lets you in. You go on a long walk in the middle of all these towers and these big, tall wrought iron fences to get to the main door, which, Ingrid, you've walked in before. And it is not a nice place to enter. People don't visit here, so it's not like take a number, take a seat. This is a workspace where people come to unload bodies, and in fact you see lots of carts lined up. It smells terrible in here. Part of that is because of the decomposing zombies that are shuffling around. Part of that is because they use horses and mules to pull the carts with the dead bodies in them, so there's just a lot of that laying around. And you see that there's all kinds of like people milling around slowly. Some of them are actual real people who are alive. Most of them are undead of some kind. So you see this not assembly line process, but clearly there is some method to the madness here of bodies being brought over and identified, and people are going through the bodies, usually the actual mortal people, taking extremely good detailed notes as they like go through their person, marking what items are on their person, and they are like trying to take identification, and then they're sending them to different rooms. They go into different piles to get brought different places. You see that there is like a big pallet of bodies. One goes on and then it's clearly full. So this flesh golem, this like big ass Frankenstein with 2 heads and 6 arms, picks up the pallet and starts to carry it up some stairs. It's going to some part in the mortuary to be those people are being shipped off plane, or they've got to they're going to be cremated or something, you don't know. But you're brought to what is the best approximation of a front desk they have here, where you see an emaciated halfling who's just the most tired person you've ever seen, sitting behind the desk, like slowly going through paperwork, and without having to roleplay all the information. I assume that you're asking about Nil.
Yes. I would also, as we were walking up, can I just kind of make any kind of check that would give me an idea as to the people who are like dealing with where the bodies go and like directing them? You said it's mostly mortal people. Who looks like they're in charge?
Oh, that's a great question. Make a perception check.
All right. Damn, I love this dice. That's a 19 plus 3 for my perception.
Very nice.
Fantastic. So you do notice that it actually doesn't seem to be a live person. It appears to be a wight. So it's an intelligent undead. So he looks like a dude, but he is like emaciated and he's clearly undead. He's walking around really bad looking, but he has an intelligence in his eyes. He's got a clipboard with a quill. He's got like shoulder length white hair, and he looks a little bit more buttoned up than the rest of them. Surprisingly, considering he's dead and a lot of these people are alive, he looks more put together than them, surprisingly, and he seems to be moving between, and people report to him. So that's kind of how you get the sense that maybe he's in charge here.
Okay.
You head up to this halfling, you give the information, and she warily, like, takes notes, has you fill out, like, a little form with what you know, and then it's basically going to go cross-reference. She's going to go, like, use the Dewey Decimal System here to see if your sibling is, like, had been recorded as dead on the timeline that you've given. This will take a little time. Is there anything anyone would like to attend to during the short time that the clerk is away?
Ingrid's trying to, while she's here, also very subtly, without attracting any attention from the rest of the group if possible, like also kind of keep an eye out for any clues to our missing detective, as it were. So could I maybe make a perception check around the room just to see if anything looks familiar or any like possible sources of information stand out, like filing cabinets, records, that kind of thing? Okay, I don't expect I can get to any of them at this point, but just like to kind of clock where they are.
Yeah, I appreciate your. I'm not gonna have you roll because there's no like record storage here, right? So I won't have you roll just to tell you failed, that there's no record storage here. I appreciate your like. I see where you're trying to go with it.
You got a lot of
but
moxie,
just
man.
from standing in the middle of this room, I'm not sure how you would pick up on like new clues.
Sure.
You would need a specific course of action. So if there's something more specific you want to take, let me know. But just at a cursory glance, you don't see any records
Cool.
here. There are some papers on her desk. They appear to be very, very recent.
In my mind, I will ask Nyx, the rat thing you just did, you can only do that once a day, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna start pulling out my lute and playing on it.
Do you want a rat? We have a regular rat.
We have Manny too.
We have 2 regular rats.
You can talk.
Radio
You can
rats.
legit talk to rats.
Yeah.
You have to speak
Oh,
with
can I
animals
talk to-
with only rats
You're
on
right,
at all times.
because the crown. I always think that I could talk to Manny like telepathically, but like no, I can literally.
You can also
Can I
talk
talk
to
to the
Manny
Manny
is a
for the
telepathic
first-
rat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough because they are cranium rats. So they can talk telepathically, but on their own, they're just not very intelligent.
Yeah.
You know.
I just get like a heads up. It's more of a scouting thing than a.
Yeah. Manny can contribute very simple ideas. Can communicate very simple ideas. You know.
What's Manny thinking right now?
Manny is cold and, despite being a rat, does not love the amount of death that is around him.
Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. I don't like it here either.
He crawls up into like the back of your shirt, little
Yeah.
cold rat feet.
World's coldest
Yeah.
little rat.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's just
like
a little itty guy.
under their greasy hair, like there is just a tiny little nose and 2 little like feet sticking out. I mean, I do you want to? Why do you want to know about the rats?
Well, I suppose you plus Manny and Meech might be a sufficient enough scouting group. I can turn you invisible. We can find an area in which, like, there'd be enough shadow where no one would notice when we leave, and I'll turn you invisible, and then you just go and sneak off and try and find Nil.
Okay. That could work.
You'd be on your own with Meech and Manny, mind you. And also Ingrid and Beleg can't hear this, so you're going to have to ask Ingrid for permission to take Meech. But that is an option. I don't really know what information we can scour from here, because it seems that they seem very keen on not letting us leave with the body. So, unless we wanted to try and sneak ourselves in with the dead bodies, but again, you'd have to relay this idea to Beleg and Ingrid and...
Okay, I can go on my own. I honestly prefer it at this point, so just... I have to ask permission, I guess. Why are we doing this in our head? I look at Ingrid and I go...
So no one can hear it! What?
But I'm connected to Ingrid too. So I don't
what's going on? Do I have something on my face?
No, you're fine. You look great. And then I start talking telepathically. My goodness. What did we call it? Thinky talkie. Thinky talkie. I thinky talkie to Ingrid. So, Ooptagler had an idea where they can make me invisible, and then I can sneak around by myself. Am I allowed to do that?
Yes, you don't have to ask me for permission to do, like, things related to the job that we're on. It's just, don't murder anybody, I suppose, unless you absolutely have to. Have at it. Also, like, Ingrid starts instinctively going to, like, old person on the phone. She starts to say that really out loud, and then remembers, no, thinky talkie, and, like, walks it back a little bit.
Thinky talkie.
Not ask permission in general,
fine.
Just ask permission from Meech.
Can
that's right.
This is
that's
stupid.
right.
I want to talk to both of you at the same time.
Also,
Ingrid's gonna put arms around Nyx and Ooptagler. We probably shouldn't lose the person who is the next of kin. So is there any chance you could also disguise yourself, Ooptagler, so that you look like Nyx? And then Nyx can go...
Well, I was figuring we would do this as we were leaving, so that Nyx will have already left their information with the clerk.
I see. Well, in that case, then I have no notes, and have at it. Go get invisible or whatever.
Also, I almost forgot. Can I have your rat?
He has a name.
Sorry. You're so right. You're so right. Can I have Meech?
You can
Manny
borrow
can have a buddy.
Meech, because I do think it'd be good for him to be social. I worry that I keep him at home too much. Oh, you gotta go hang out with the rats, okay?
You could just put him on the other side of my shoulder, and then they can, like, sit next to each other.
Now share your grapes, Meech, and I'll pass Meech over to go on this adventure. The Meech is a very special boy. If you give him a bunch of grapes, and I'll give Nyx a bunch of grapes, he can sense magic objects and other things related to that.
Oh.
But it's kind of expensive.
Is it the grapes, or is it him?
Well, he eats a lot of grapes to sort of power it up, I don't think there's anything special about it.
It's really just a moral. It's really just a confidence booster.
Morale.
Morale. Thank you. Yeah.
He's got to be trained to. He gets a reward when he does the finding magic thing. So it's all related. This is all going great, I think, right? Yeah.
We're just waiting for the clerk to come back, so...
Yes, we just need to make sure that they get my information, and then we can leave, quote unquote.
Excellent.
So, these conversations happen, time passes, and the clerk returns, and she informs you that there's no record of your sibling having passed through here, but assures you that if they have died recently in the last 24 to 48 hours, then surely they will be coming through, and you will receive their body, remains, and belongings after due processing.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
Cheers to that.
Well, we know that they're being sent to what is it, Maramoth, because specifically they're in like a state of like death and not death, right?
Yeah, they're
And
not
we just
actually
said
dead.
that, what the fuck was it? Lies of omission are still lies.
True.
Anyway, I rolled a 7, so I don't know shit. We're good.
I rolled a 19 plus
Ooh.
my insight is 6, so a 25.
Very well done. 25, you're like, I'm dealing with a bureaucrat. If they're lying to me, they don't know it. Right? Like, this is an admin. So, as far as they know, they went and checked the record, and there was no record that Nail is dead. Right?
All right, time for plan B. Let's go, everyone.
All right.
Let's leave this place.
Yes. Everyone's exiting.
You...
Yeah, and as we're exiting, I'm gonna wait until we reach like a shadowy location, and then I'm still playing my lute, but then I'll strum out a particular chord and cast invisibility.
All right. You cast invisibility on Nyx. Nyx, to not be spotted here, I'm going to have you, because you guys are being like, not closely watched, but you are being basically led back out, and there are people all around. This is specifically not a place that it is easy to just duck away in, but there is like some confusion going around. There's carts that move back and forth, lots of dead bodies, huge undead moving around, lots of shadows. As you said, it's very dark in here, as you can imagine. So, Nyx, I'm going to have you roll stealth. I'm going to have you roll disadvantage because of the circumstances of the situation, but you're rolling at advantage because of the invisibility. So go ahead and give me a straight stealth roll. With all the eyes in this room, it is a DC 18.
I believe in you.
Come on, Nyx.
I got it. Here it comes. That is a 14 plus stealth is 9,
Let's go.
and that makes it a
23.
23.
You guys watch as Ubtaglor, your comedic sense of timing comes in here as a cart comes past with just like you're like, I can't tell if this is like some sort of Shadowfell horse or if this horse has not eaten in weeks, but this is like the skinniest horse. Is it alive or is that just matted skin on a skeleton? As it comes by, it brings a rumbling cart, and the party has to split around it as this like horse just can't even see where it's going with all the flies buzzing around its face. And you hit your little cord. Nyx, you turn invisible. Stealth behind, and no one notices that you have disappeared from sight. The rest of you, because we're going to have to cut to Nyx here, but before we do, the rest of you, is there anything you do before you leave the grounds, before you, like, get out?
I think Ingrid just kind of instinctively, like, is loudly complaining about bureaucracy the entire walkout just to be as distracting as possible. Like, oh, I'm making such a big deal about us all leaving. And how
The
awful
Turtle Undead
a
is worn off
time.
of that one ghoul, so Beleg just gives him a nod.
You are led back out the gate. It is closed behind you. And we will go to Nyx.
Yeah.
Nyx, what would you like to do?
Now, can I use my sense of smell to smell my sibling's body? I feel like I would know that smell very well.
I think that is reasonable.
Yeah.
This will not be a short check. So go ahead and make me a perception check. At advantage.
Outside, Beleg's like, wait, did we lose someone?
It's there was a scheme
Perception.
cooked up.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. I got a 2 and a 6, plus my perception is 3, so it's only a 9.
Okay, so with a 9. You are going to... You smell, there's nothing but death here, but you know that your sibling is probably not in this room, and if they are in the mortuary, they haven't been in this room for a long time. Time to get to work. You begin creeping around the many, many labyrinthine hallways, twisting staircases, towers that make up the mega building conglomeration of different buildings that is the mortuary. It is truly staggering. I'd also like you to make me a survival check while you do this.
Okay.
To see if you can keep from losing your way.
It's a nat one.
No.
Yeah.
Do you have the
quickly
advantage?
become-
I have the rats with me. I have Meech and Manny. Can they help me with that?
Can the rats help you keep your way? How would the rats help you keep your way?
So what I'm thinking
They're
is
not better
little...
at survival than you.
No,
Like,
like little, little rat pellets as breadcrumbs. What do you
honor
think?
A good idea.
What do you think?
I want to honor a silly idea, and also I don't feel like that would work.
What do you think?
I don't think that would work. No. I appreciate the hustle.
Hey, listen, don't knock the hustle.
You begin to, but I would say, like, at this point, you're not even really worried about it. You're like, I'll get out of here. But you spend a full half hour looking around with that perception check. You do not find, like, the sense of smell does not give you any leads, and the survival check means you are now lost, which means you're going to have some decisions to make, because the spell lasts 1 hour. Yeah. You're halfway through.
Okay.
Which means you have some options. You can try to be more specific in your search, try to narrow it down like you've tried one approach, or you can try to get out, or you can, I mean, you're also great at stealth. You don't need to be invisible.
Yeah, no,
it just
I'm
gives you
okay.
it mechanically gives you advantage. So, you know,
I don't think she's worried about the invisibility rubbing off.
Okay.
I can
Wearing
also
off, yeah.
change.
You're like, I've been in tight situations. I
I've
could
been
probably
in a
figure this
situation
out.
where I can't be myself. Like I already have a couple.
Good
people
point.
that
Yeah, I mean, you're a
switch into.
I forgot you can change what you look like. So
Yeah. So I think when we first walked in, did I get a sense of like the order of processing, like these carts that are going off, like these look like newer bodies as they're coming in, they're going into this department, like these are they're coming out of this processing area. Like, is there any kind of organizational structure that I might have caught, especially after I like watched that guy who's in charge?
Yeah, I would say that that's easy enough for you to figure out. What sort of lead do you want to follow with that?
I think I want to see, like, where is if he hasn't been cataloged yet, where is the mid process between entering and getting cataloged? Where are those bodies stored?
Yeah, so when they arrive, they are like somewhat cataloged, but they're not like put into, you know, they're like, they write some stuff on a paper and then they pin it to their clothing and then they get sent to different places. So depending on where they're going to go answers your question. Ones that are supposed to go to outer planes are sent to different towers. Ones that are supposed to stay internally in Sigil are sent to another part of the mortuary entirely.
Okay, well, they better not send him to the outer planes. So I'm gonna hope for their sake that I'm gonna go to the local area.
You're going to stay in the Sigil area. Okay.
Yeah.
You arrive there, and the bodies are laid out in this, like, big hall room. That it's not like a high ceiling, but it's a very long room. And they are laid out on tables like a autopsy room, almost.
Can I look at one of the tags that are on one of the bodies and see if I can understand any sort of Dewey Decimal System?
There is a numbering system on here. So you imagine that what's going to eventually happen is this code is going to get written on some other card and filed away. And then if they need to look up KZ2463, they'll just go look up that card, even after the body is gone, right? So it's not really... The numbers are close to each other because these people have all died within a certain amount of time of each other, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they've all died recently. So, they all have similar numbers, but there is like a sigil code at the start of it that signals that these ones are meant to stay in sigil. So there is that code that you can make. It's not difficult to decipher, but it doesn't necessarily like tell you where. Like it's not like I could just look for the last name or the first name or something. Or like changeling isn't a code on these numbers. I can just look for CH.
Yeah. Are they is it just like the order they came in? There's no sort of other, like, I know they're like these ones are saying the signal and this is the ones that they came in and the order they came in, but is there any other filing of like size, height, race, like
those
anything
things
like
are
that?
noted. Those things are noted, but that's not how they're organized.
Okay. Nyx is panicking a little bit.
It's been a little while. 15 more minutes.
I think for the last 15 minutes. I think for the last 15 minutes. She's gonna try in this room to just look for Nil as much as possible, and kind of basically work down the clock that way. And then when that 15 minutes is up, when I come out of invisibility, I'd like to change into like the manager guy that I saw earlier with the clipboard.
You turn into a white.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
The next 15 minutes you spend pouring through all of the details you can in this room. Nil has been missing for some time, and these people have died in the last 24 hours, for the most part. There's one pretty far along one, you're like, oh, poor guy, no one found him. But, yikes is right.
Yikes.
But for the most part, these are all people who have died far more recently. And I won't ask for an investigation or perception because I don't want to mislead you. Nil is not in this room.
Not in here.
Nor is there any strong evidence to suggest Nil is hidden in this room or like has been in this room very recently or something like that. Your invisibility ends. You turn into a white. I assume with a an eye on the clock, so to speak. You're able to do this like not right out in the open, but you are a white now instead of invisible. So the check to get out, you can still rely on stealth to get out, or you could rely on a deception or performance check to try to appear as the white. Or if you want to continue to stay it, please don't let me pressure you to leave.
I'm going to try one last thing. I'm gonna.
Okay. So you take on the form of this white. What would you like to do?
They have one last attempt. They are gonna try to find their way back using any sort of clues as to like where the entrance is, where like the admin desk that they were at, where they did all that information. They gave all that information.
I will say you have no time limit now. And so it is not that big a deal because there are people who are coming from the downstairs. So it's not the sort of thing you could have easily done if you were like, you've got 10 minutes to get out. But with a little bit of time, it is easy for you to do. I am going to need, however, either a stealth check or a deception check to pass off as the white, or to just stay hidden enough that no one notices that you're not where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. That is a 19 stealth. 19
stealth, I will say, is enough. Okay. We're keeping that DC. It would be a little bit lower because you're stealthing as someone who's supposed to be here as opposed to disappearing in front of everyone. But 19 is still plenty. So with the 19, you are able to make it back downstairs into the lobby. And before you leave, Noir, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that when the hour was up, I'll just kind of telepathically be like, everything good?
Yeah, I'm trying one more thing, and if it doesn't work out, I'll come out.
Well, I was thinking if... Well, Nil's not really an ordinary case. This is something. This is specifically a part of a bigger conspiracy headed up by Zadara. And like the extraction of a soul from a body. I would honestly try and find anything, like if Merimoth the head of the mortuary has a place, like an office or something, trying to get information there.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, now, and with that, is there any, way that I can try to find that, area of the mortuary, like, the offices or admin?
You want to try, well, are you looking for admin stuff, or are you looking for Merimoth,
Merimoth.
the guy in charge? You're looking for Merimoth,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Merimoth, these guys are old, this is like old school crazy nonsense. If Merimoth's anywhere, he's not going to be in regular admin. He's probably either in the tallest tower or the deepest basement. Go ahead and roll me an intel, or roll me. I do want it to be an intelligence check, but I don't think investigation would be quite appropriate. An Arcana or a history check. Either of those.
All right. Straight roll. That is an
Okay.
18 on the die.
Woo!
You do know that Merimoth is a death tyrant, which is a creature that can natively fly. They have no wings, they just float around.
Oh, so upstairs. Easy entrance. I head towards the tallest tower.
Okay. I would like you to give me... Alright, so easy enough to figure out where that is. As you walk by and through... Now that you've walked through the building a little bit, you know where the tallest of the towers are, where there's like the nicest looking overlooks and things like that. Getting up there is going to be perhaps a bit of a challenge. Go ahead and roll me a perception check to see if you can find your way there sufficiently, or survival, whichever you prefer.
Oh, gosh. Perception or survival? Oh, well.
Yes.
Perception's way better.
I figured.
I am going to use Psychic because it was only a 5 on the die, and I have a +3, so that's an 8. I'm going to use one of my Cybolstered Neck dice. And that is... Oh, I thought it was an 8. It's a 3, so that's only 11.
Okay. You are able to find the tower, but I'm going to require another stealth or deception check from you to make it there successfully, because it's going to take you longer than you anticipated.
Got it.
So, when you arrived here, we were 3 hours into your 6-hour telepathic communication. You spent 1 hour sneaking around, that's 4 hours.
Yes.
You have now spent a half hour searching for the tower. You found the tower, but I need you... Assuming you succeed on this stealth and no one catches you, you find the tower. So that brings you at 4.5 hours. You have 1.5 hours left on your telepathic bond.
Yes.
What
and
is your
boy,
stealth or deception?
Did I succeed? I got a nat 20.
Yay!
Okay. You, in fact, blend into a group who are talking about heading to... You hear a whisper of the name Merimoth, and you can, link onto and follow this group from behind, and they do approach a tower that you see is different than the others. There is a spiral staircase that winds the middle of it, but there is a huge gap in the middle. The stairs are just open on the end. They're like 1.5 feet wide, and they are just open. There is no railing or barrier. There is just a huge middle of the tower, presumably where something can fly up and down without any interference, and there is a terrifying, 10-story spiral staircase walk up with no railings, like you're climbing a lighthouse, but there's nothing in the middle.
I think Nyx is so tunnel vision and does not care if of any danger that is clearly does not care about any repercussions ever since she threw that dagger. Is fully just forward. Just keep going until you find them. Period. And so she's gonna start climbing up the stairs carefully, with Meech and Manny.
Okay. Rats in pocket. Two rats in the pocket are worth running with this. You climb the staircase as the white. People walking around below you take no notice with you supreme natural 20 stealth. And you enter into... You climb up until you come to the landing and the open doors that lead into what can only be Meremoth's chambers.
Can I
The
send...
room is...
Oh, sorry. Before I go
no,
in, I just
please.
wanted to send one of the rats in to see if there's anyone in there.
Okay.
I send.
Which rat are you sending?
I pulled them both out of my pocket. I go, okay, flip a coin. Who wants to go? One of you's gonna have to go. So who wants to go?
Flip a coin. Odds for Meech, evens for Manny.
Yeah.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Even is Manny.
Manny. All right, Manny, you got this.
I miss
I give
Meech.
Manny a grape too, because I think like maybe I should, reward
Good.
my child.
Feed the child.
I give
Manny
Manny a grape,
jumps
and then
off.
I feel bad, so I give Meech a grape too for doing nothing. But I just don't understand like how this
Ingrid's
reward
sitting on a
system
stoop
works.
outside for an hour and a half, just like, I miss Meech. I miss my boy.
Yeah. So
All right.
I send Manny in.
Okay, Manny goes in. Now, you have no special method of communicating with Manny? Simple thoughts, communication, telepathy? Am I remembering correctly? How does,
It's just because he's a cranium rat, and so we can talk. I mean, we talk to them the same. Yeah. We talk to them the same as I talk to the many as one, and because the many as one can just communicate telepathic with me, I think Manny can also, just not in like full paragraphs.
Yes, I follow. Let me double check the range on it really quick. Mm-hmm. It's that the Manny is one is a hyper intelligence, and Manny by himself is a rat.
Yeah.
A very
fair.
good rat.
He's a
So
good
he's pretty-
rat.
He is smarter than the average rat. CR0, here he is. Intelligence of 4.
Oh, buddy.
Telepathy 30 feet. So yeah, he's not going to be able to really communicate with you once he's far from this door, which he goes in, and he runs around. Could I have you roll me a stealth check? And because he is a rat, I'll allow it to be at advantage. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check for him. His dexterity is +2, which means that he's
Alright.
going to be rolling a d20 +2 at advantage.
Come on, Manny. That is a 17 plus 2 is a 19.
Woo!
Got a 5 and a
Alright.
17.
You sit outside and wait for Manny to return. How long do you wait before you get nervous that he hasn't returned?
Like 30 seconds. like 30 whole seconds. The second Manny turns the corner, Nyx is worried that he won't return.
30 seconds
yeah.
pass. 45 seconds pass. A minute passes. 2 minutes pass.
Okay, no, yeah. She runs in.
Oh boy.
Okay,
not
are you
thinking
stealthing
clearly.
in or are you...
I'm
you
stealthing
stealthing in or you...
I'm stealthing in.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a stealth check, please.
Come on.
You no
Meech.
longer have advantage.
Yep. That's a 16 plus 9 for stealth. That is 25. Thank you so much for the math help. No problem.
You enter into the room. You see
Oh no.
vaults that line the wall. Like you're in some sort of massive, round, domed autopsy room. Vaults all around. You see tables and dissecting trays. You see viscera and gore. You see some bodies strapped to tables. Strange lights float through, strange bottles of strange fluids line the many tables and carts that clutter and fill this space. You expertly creep through and spy across the room its massive head angled down at your small cranium rat, the bone white death tyrant that you know as Merimoth. 10 little red disembodied eyes glowing and floating around his literal massive skull. You can see from behind as he opens and closes his jaw, because it is just like connected to the top of his skull, so you can fully see through his mouth from behind. And with your stealth score, you do beat his passive perception of 22.
God.
Yeah, baby.
Oh.
I didn't think you guys were going to see him this episode.
I got that vibe. You did not make it easy to get through this damn morgue.
No, but you guys were hellbent on it, so
Hell yeah.
hey, things pay off.
And I'm at the top of the tallest tower.
Little brat. Do the many send you to spy on me? Or do you find your way up on your own? Curious. Perhaps the secrets can be pulled from your brain. You watch as he telekinetically picks up Manny. I'm not even going to have him roll for it. He's a rat. And brings him over and drops him into a cage. The door latches and shuts. And then he goes back to a table where you see there is a dead body, like gray, strapped down. Telekinetically, one of the eyes like looks at a scalpel, picks it up, and as it begins to cut, the body doesn't scream, but it does vibrate violently.
Jesus Christ.
Nix, what would you like to do?
It's been a while since we had a trigger warning heavy episode, huh?
I thought it was going to be next one.
Aw, shucks.
That's...
You know us, we do the hard thing first.
I thought this was going to be the easier one. All right.
One was in a fortress, one is being held by an old dude.
One is a stone, one is a literal body.
Yeah.
Which is easier to get? A stone or a body?
I didn't say anything, but I was like, what do you mean the mortuary is the easier place to go?
I thought it was the easier place because I thought his soul would be
but I'm
harder
just saying,
to get.
it was definitely not what I anticipated. All right, what are you doing now that you're in here?
I would like to telepathically reach out to Uptaglor and just be like, this was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. They have Manny. I can't get him back on my own. I gotta bail, but we have to come back. We have to come back. I'm bailing, but strategically. Hello, are you there? Should I do that?
Am I just gonna make this pear-shaped thing even
Is
more
this thing on?
pear-shaped?
Do it.
Oh my god.
Do it.
Yeah, fuck it. Where are you?
I'm at the
Did you say you were
top of the tallest tower. I went where you told me to go, and it's bad here. And he has Manny.
I think animal endangerment is going to have to be our biggest trigger warning yet, actually. I think that is like the fastest to upset people of all the things I've described.
Yeah, he's dissecting
This
a
is
body
not-
that's kind of still alive and feeling, but also the rat's in a little bucket. How are we gonna get him out?
All right. Uptaglor will cast fly on themselves.
The rest of us? Uptaglor's flying away. Plague, wake up. Beleg.
Oh, sorry. Something happening?
It is, but I don't know what it is that's going on exactly. They're just...
And Oopteglor will fly to the tallest tower.
God, they've left.
Okay. Oopteglor, make a stealth check at disadvantage.
Yeah,
You're
sure.
flying in the air.
It's gonna take a solid 20 minutes to get up that place on my little legs.
Well, the 20 and a 10.
I don't want to circle back around to my original idea of pretending to be a dead body, but it would get us inside pretty quickly.
12.
We might not need to pretend.
It was a
12.
nat 20 and
okay.
a 10, you said.
Yeah.
You fly up, and the Aarakocra who you saw before, "Oh, where are you going? Where are you going?" And it's gonna fly up after you. You're flying to the tallest tower.
Yeah.
You gonna avert your course at all? You're just gonna keep going?
Nope, I'm gonna keep going.
Go. Yeah. You outfly him. You have a fly speed of 60, I believe.
Yeah.
Hey, wait! Stop! No! And you make it up to the top. It's a big observatory dome where you can see out to the spire of Sigil. And you look through. Make a perception check as you look through.
That's another natural 20. Okay,
Oh
cool.
my
This is my die. This is my die.
Probably should
spot-
save that for later.
I'm so stressed right
Lay,
now.
lay of the land, you spot everything else that I've described. Is there anything else you would like to see on a natural 20?
Does one of the bodies look like a changeling?
Yeah.
You look around at the bodies that are covered, and I will say, you know what? I'm going to reward. On a nat 20, you see a foot that is a foot and an arm sticking out that are white, not because of death, but because that is the natural color of a changeling. To say that you also spot, you've never seen the person before, so you have no way of knowing if this detail is correct or not. If you have no way of knowing if you're seeing, you don't have enough information to know for sure, but you do also spot, not far away, strapped to another table, a red body and a peak of horns curling through from under the blanket, under the sheet.
Agni?
A tiefling.
Oh. Interesting.
All right. After that natural 20, I'd love for you to roll me a stealth roll, please.
With a disadvantage again, or?
Nope, this one's straight. He just has a passive perception of 22 because he's got 11 eyes.
Okay. I need a natural 20.
You got it.
Let's see if that
You
guy's
got
got
it.
another
You're
one
gonna
in
get
it.
another one right
I'm
here.
gonna roll. I have luck. This is what I'm using it for.
What else could you possibly use it for?
I'm using another luck. This is what I'm using it for.
Okay.
I'm using another luck. That's what I'm using it for.
Last luck, natural 20, come
painful.
on.
Closest I got was an 18.
Aw.
So, dirty 20.
You watch for a minute, you see Nyx in there. You watch as Maramoth
you see the guy
is
with the
conducting
miniature
his
guy.
autopsy. Can you really call it an autopsy if they're not quite dead? And vivisection. And one single red glowing eye that's just, they kind of like ambiently float around like a cloud of like slow moving flies, just kind of circle his head. One, as it rotates, ping, comes to you, and then another eye, another eye, another eye, another eye, all, and then the head swings around to look up at you. If it could smile, it would, but without any skin, the closest you get is a strange twitch of the jaw, and you see Maramoth says, "What a fascinating little birdie. You have no wings. Come down and let's talk." And I think we're probably gonna have to end it there.
We could have done
my
this after
God.
a long rest.
Okay.
So not to circle back around to the pretend to be dead bodies of it all, Beleg, but they haven't got an awful long time.
I blacked out. What happened?
Tegler just got themselves into trouble.
I got them into
Doing
trouble.
what we
I
have
think.
affectionately dubbed in the podcast as an oopsie baby.
DM, I have one question. In the hour and a half we just had, could we have taken another short rest? Those of us who weren't stealthing.
Yeah, I imagine you guys are sitting around the corner, not far
thank
away.
goodness. Okay.
Okay, in that case, I will be refreshing my bardic inspirations, but that's
I'm
not
back
going to
at
help.
full hit points.
That's not going to do anything.
All right. With that, we are going to close this episode, and we're going to see you next week for Season 2, Episode 5, the final episode which Olivia will be a guest in. And boy, will
I
that
might
go
die.
interestingly.
You're not the only
It's
one who
very,
might die.
very possible.
It might just die.
Very well might.
We will see. Some tough decisions will have to be made. And, yeah, with that, thank you all for joining. Go have some antacids, de-stress yourselves. And I know I'm going to have to. And we'll catch you next week. Thanks for
You're gonna
joining.
have
Oh,
to.
man.
You're gonna have
You
to.
did
Bye,
this.
everybody.
You did this.
Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Open and Shut, a Rolling with Difficulty campaign. We'll be back next week with another thrilling mystery, but if you miss us before then, check out Rolling with Difficulty on social media and check out our Discord server for fun fan conversations. You can also email us at rollwithdifficulty@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or concerns. If you enjoyed the show, please rate us and leave a review on your preferred podcast platform, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you really enjoyed the show, consider becoming a patron for even more exclusive benefits like access to monthly bonus content created by all of our lovely cast. You got all that, Berks? Perfect. Then we'll catch you out on the streets of the cage.